TFA fam, what is going on? Hope you are all doing well. Welcome into the first edition of the Week 8 Start Sit Show, going live on Wednesdays. Also going to catch you on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. on this here very channel. Same place, Sunday mornings as well. We got you covered all week long. We got you. We're here for you. Right now, it's just Robbie and myself. We should have Kev coming on at some point, we believe. Who knows what's going on? Robbie, how you feeling, buddy? I didn't realize today was Big Ten Day here in the TFA.
Yeah, man, I am. I'm on to Cincinnati, right? We had a tough week 7. A lot of us were starting who knows who at the running back and wide receiver positions. I don't even remember. I've kind of blacked it out of my memory. I am looking forward to week 8. A tough couple losses in a couple leagues. So I'm full-fledged on to Cincinnati, on to week 8, pumped up for this week. We have only 2 teams on bye, so our rosters are full again. And I'm pumped up for some of these start-sit questions.
Yeah, and honestly, not a lot of there's some key players, but it's not like a heavy hitter kind of week. You know, Lamar Jackson obviously hurts. Then it's Darren Waller and Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like the run game for Baltimore, not really something we're worried about. Outside of Marquise, not worried about that. You know, Josh Jacobs has been up and down. It's Waller. Can't trust Ruggs. Hunter Renfrow, I guess. So I will take this week. I might have started CJ Procise last week. I don't know. Maybe Christine Michael. Who knows? It was an ugly week. I might have started people that weren't even in the league. I'm not sure. Look at this. Walito coming through just to brag, just to boast.
Yo, Mark Ingram.
Mark
Ingram
really,
time. Watch out. Watch out, Alvin Kamara.
Would you really be bragging about Alvin Kamara if he is literally the only thing you have to would you actually be pumped about that? For those who don't know, you know who Walito is. You see him in the streams. He is Canadian, but he has chosen the Saints as his team. We know he brags about DeAndre Swift and Brandon Cooks. Would you really be that pumped up about Kamara?
I haven't heard any Marquez Callaway hype. I haven't heard any Traquan Smith hype. I mean, lips are shut on those guys, okay? So I'm just saying. Also, Walito, I jumped in on the Brandon Cooks bandwagon last week, and it burned the hell out of me. I had to wrap my hand in gauze. It was hot. It was not good for me. I don't know if I'll go back.
Never again. Fool me once, as they say. But we got the chat already popping off and filling up with questions. We had Brian jumping in a couple of minutes before we even went live. So let's start tackling some of these questions, and we can always go back to pick on Walito at any point of the show. Brian wants to know Samaje Perine, Dearness Johnson, or Brandon Bolden in this question as well in a full PPR. Who do you like?
Yeah, this one's tough because we're talking about 3 guys that are kind of the secondary names, right? We have Brandon Bolden behind Damian Harris. Chubb's coming back, so Dearness Johnson probably takes that 1B role. And then Samaje Perine, who really shouldn't even be in this conversation, except he actually got 14 carries and had a decent workload and a touchdown last week, right? So what's going on in that situation? It's kind of tepid right now. But, you know, out of these 3 guys, if you want to go just a safe, hey, Brandon Bolden can probably catch you 4 or 5 footballs against the Los Angeles Chargers, that's where I'd go. If you want to try and risk it a little bit, I do like Dearness Johnson maybe getting that Kareem Hunt type of role where he gets 10 carries. And we saw how efficient he was, right, in the Thursday night game last week. So if he can put together a decent type of week going against Pittsburgh, which I get it, not the best of matchups, but they're going to run the football a lot. Either Baker's going to come back and they're going to run the football, or we're going to see another week of Case Keenum and they're still going to run the football, right? This is the Cleveland Browns that run the football. So I think he's a little bit more of a dart throw, but all 3 of these guys are again, secondary to the starters. So how would you break that down? Would you lean one over the other?
I'd probably go Dearness Johnson here, just because I feel like with with Chubb coming back from that injury, there's no reason to really rush him in and just run him into the ground week one, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see Dearness Johnson have a little bit more of a predictable role than Brandon Bolden, because Bolden last week, literally all of his production came in from the passing game. 7 targets. I think he had 6 catches. 6 catches. I want to say like maybe 2 carries, and I don't really think his carries did anything on the ground. And I know on paper this Steelers run D looks really good, but let's run down who they have faced this year. The Buffalo Bills, who basically don't know what a run game is. The Raiders, who again, that was I think that was a Kenyon Drake week if I'm remembering correctly. The Bengals, Mixon, whatever. The Packers, Aaron Jones has been super hit and miss all year. If it weren't for that game where he had the 4 touchdowns, I think a lot of people would be starting to get weary and starting to question Aaron Jones a little bit. The Broncos and then the Seahawks. So it's not like they've faced a murderer's row and just been shutting, Kamara and Swift and CMC and Jonathan Taylor and shutting those guys down every single week. So in this game where I am not expecting it to get out of hand on either side, I like Dearness Johnson here. I just saw that. I would have Brandon Bolden second, and then P. Ryan would be third for me.
Okay. Brian's got another one here while you bring in a potential guest and switch our layout. Again, we're talking about some lower end options here for Brian, but Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ertz, Crowder, Boyd, and Tom Corson.
Hey,
definitely sitting Tom Corson.
Yes, too much Vino.
There's not a situation that I would ever start him.
Too much Vino.
You start me every Friday, boy, or Saturday, whatever it is. You're like, get him started. Yeah. I don't even know what that means.
This is why there's only one live show with Tom Corson
per week. So that's all we can do.
All right, before this gets out of hand, let's answer Brian's question since he's been patiently waiting. ARSB, Ertz, or Crowder, Boyd, pick 2 in a full PPR.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you didn't watch the Lions game, you have to kind of go back and check to make sure St. Brown played. You're a little confused by the box score. You're wondering what happened because this is a guy that consistently gets 5, 6, 7, 8 targets, and we got nothing. We got nothing from him. That said, out of the options I see here, I think I'm going to go back to the well. Most of the time, the Detroit Lions are going to be throwing a lot. I get it. Khalif Raymond's been a thing for a couple weeks, but Amon-Ra St. Brown should be a safe 5 to 6 to 7 catches. And the other guy I might go with is Ertz here. I think he gets the Packers tomorrow night. And I don't know, like his involvement week one kind of coming back with the Cardinals was enough to get a touchdown. Can he build upon that, get more, kind of start to take on a bigger target share? I'm going to go with those first 2 options. I'm sitting Boyd, your boy. I know it sucks, but he just is not involved. And then Crowder, I can't trust him with Mike White.
I'm going to go Ertz and Crowder.
Okay.
Last week, the game script is always going to be there for the Lions, and then you have Khalif Raymond just coming in and just literally ruining everything for me in my life. I can't have anything nice. I would think that somebody like Mike White would be a little bit better for somebody like Crowder, kind of that safety valve cliche, that slot guy. He, even though Elijah Moore, I think, started to get a little bit more involved the past 2 weeks, Crowder still had. Sorry, I just had that up. Still had 80% of the snaps last week. Going up against Cincy, going to be playing from behind. I'm going to go Ertz and Crowder.
I'd probably go Crowder. And listen, if there's one thing that you can depend on, it's the Eagles playing this brutal soft zone, and Amon St. Brown that should fit his game. He should be able to sit down, get some targets in there, like Robbie was saying. The Eagles, they're like a flower. Did you see this? Nick Sirianni today, they're like a beautiful flower. Did you see it?
Missed it.
He compared the Eagles to a flower where their roots are settling and all this other shit. So I don't know what they're doing, but I know what their defense is doing, which is playing an extremely soft zone, cover 2 high, and they're not changing anything. They don't have the linebackers to play that scheme. They're playing in a zone. Amon St. Brown can beat that. They can get those targets, and Jared Goff is going to be able to, just dump down 8 yards, whatever the hell it is. That's what they've been doing. So I'm going to take Amon St. Brown on this one, and Crowder, I think. And it's nothing against Ertz necessarily. It's just Thursday games, don't love those, and then it's still a tight end. If you said tight end premium, it might change it a little bit, but that's where I'm going.
So we did not help out Brian at all.
Brian can eliminate Boyd. That's helpful.
That's helpful.
Boyd.
Yeah, if someone in the chat could help break some ties here, because we literally gave every possible combination that didn't include Tyler Boyd. So, Kyle, hopefully one of us swayed you and you can make that decision on your own. Like they're all kind of equal to me, but I feel least confident with Amon St. Brown, even though Tom made some good points there about the defense of the Eagles play. Justin wants to know, Tom, your boy Goddard or Gronk in a full PPR. Gronk did return to practice today.
So Gronk looks like he's going to play this week. No Antonio Brown again. Dallas Goedert's playing against the Lions. I'm going to wind up going Gronk here because I think he's more likely to catch a touchdown, which is what that comes down to tell you the truth.
Roberto, I saw you nod, but then I saw the look in your eye. What are you thinking?
They're close enough where it might wind up going Goddard's way. It's just I'm going to go with touchdown, with the possibility of a touchdown there. That's all.
I mean, you're not wrong. Oftentimes with these tight ends, it comes down to who can score, and I'm going to much rather trust Tom Brady and the Bucs offense, right, versus Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. But I just feel like since or with the exit of Ertz, my view of Dallas Goedert is back to the preseason view of, hey, Ertz is going to be traded. He's going to have this, offense, or at least a tight end room to himself. And I get it. We didn't see a huge target share. He only went 3 for 5, but he had 70 yards. And I feel like if that target share goes up at all, I just think he's going to be a really, really solid tight end the rest of the year. You're not wrong. Gronk is probably more likely to score than Goddard, but I'm going to still have Goddard ranked higher. I'm going to still go Goddard with this. I think he's just more involved, and I want to attack this Detroit Lions team and score some points.
The Lions will beat the Eagles this week.
I was actually thinking about taking the Lions on the money line. Not gonna lie,
it's not the worst move in the world for you to do that. I mean, if you can take the points, but on the money line, it's gonna pay out more. But the Eagles are that bad.
I feel like if you're gonna take a line like 3.5, you might as well just go money line.
Just man up, son. Unless it's unless you're gonna do a teaser or something like that, just man up, take the money line.
You're not gonna escape with your kneecaps, so just do it. Just go in.
No, and at this point, I mean it's ankles and kneecaps, to tell you the truth. So it's whatever it is. It's fine. Just go on down there.
TRM 4044 has a standard question here, and that is Keenan Allen or Calvin Ridley.
Ridley, Stan, make your case down there.
Did you see me just lower my head in complete dejection and utter just discompetence? It's got to be Calvin or Keenan Allen. I'm sorry. I would love to say it's Calvin Ridley, but this offense is got a learning curve since they got the new offensive coordinator there. They're still trying to figure some things out. Kyle Pitts being split out as basically the wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1, almost 70% of the snaps. No joke. Inline tight end is 30% or less at this point. That's what it was last week.
Go.
And I think he had 6 snaps or some ridiculous number as an inline last week. So I'm going to go with Keenan Allen here because we don't. The usage of Calvin Ridley is slightly baffling there. So they're still getting it together. Yeah, I hate myself.
I'm going Keenan as well. I like the matchup. The corner for New England, who had been playing the most slot snaps, went on IR last week, and even with him not playing last week, he still ranks with giving up the 7th most yards while in coverage while in slot coverage. So I'm assuming a coach like Bill Belichick isn't going to just keep putting up with that without fixing something. So I can't imagine whoever they have behind Jonathan Jones is much better. So give me Keenan there. Justin Young wants to know Mixon, AJB, or Deontay in full PPR. We need 2. Robbie, who are you sitting out of that group? Good luck.
I like Deontay, and I know if Kev were here, he'd make his case for Deontay just getting absolutely targeted galore in that Steelers offense. But I'm going to stick with the running back here in AJ Brown. We saw finally the AJ Brown that we've been waiting for, and I think Julio just is struggling so much with these soft tissue injuries where he is not himself. So this is again an AJ Brown led passing offense, and so I'm going to stick with him and then Mixon, who he kind of split more of the work than I think most have expected with P. Ryan coming off of the COVID list. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But Mixon's going to get 18 plus touches, and that's just really hard to sit in that regard. So I'm going to go Mixon and AJ Brown.
I would do.
I'm doing the same. Yeah. Okay. If we're all doing the same, then we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Tom gets it.
Yeah.
Tom's learning. Tom, your boy Devonta Smith or Christian Kirk at the flex in full PPR?
Ooh-wee. Listen, this is a tough one. It should not be this tough. But these are 2 players I like. Devonta Smith is # good at football, but they don't know how to scheme in Philly, and Jalen Hurts doesn't know how to throw the football. Like I said, all offseason. Christian Kirk, short week. DeAndre Hopkins slightly hobbled against the Packers secondary that's not that good. I'm still going to go Devonta Smith because he should garner the most targets. I want to say Kirk here because of my hatred for the current Eagles offense, but I'm going to go with Devonta Smith.
Yeah, I think you need to go Devonta Smith. He hasn't quite put it together and found the end zone in a couple of weeks, but his target share is there and the work is there. It's just a lot of it's coming garbage time, and I think they're really close to hitting. And I get it, Tom's on here, so he's always going to talk bad about his Eagles, but they're really close to hitting a couple of plays a little bit earlier in the game. He and Devonta Smith are just missing on some of these plays where I think he could have a really good week against the Detroit Lions, who I already said I want to attack them and score some points with Goddard. Same thing with Smith. Smith and Goddard, I think, are going to have good weeks.
I'm going to go Smith here as well. Give me the alpha target in the offense.
Right, that's the big difference. And the fact that the Eagles shouldn't be getting just destroyed or whatever.
Or whatever.
All right, guys, it's been good seeing you. Take it easy.
Well, now that we're going to get hit with a copyright infringement, thanks for joining, Kev.
You just hit it with the glass break and then you stop it.
Let's go. The man is here. I let the amateurs do their thing for a little while. Okay. Everybody waits for me. I'm here. Okay, let's restart. Let's get the questions going again. I'll go through and answer them just so we get the right ones. Let's go.
I'm really excited that you mentioned amateurs because the Chiefs are playing really well right now.
Hey, we beat you. So
listen, fucking Robbie's Kansas Jayhawks could beat the Eagles right now. Not really, but Robbie said, come on the show, talk shit to Kev. So I had to get it out of the way.
I did say this. I did.
How you doing, Kev?
I'm doing fantastic. It's Halloween week, boys. Halloween's this week, this weekend. The Chiefs got to get back on track. So you just go ahead and lay all your money on Chiefs -10 this weekend on Monday Night Football.
So they better hope so.
-10.
So we missed Kyle's question here earlier. Apologies. Speaking of amateurs, need a flex for this week with AB most likely being out. Higgins, Cooks, Javonte, Eli Mitchell. Who do we like here? Kev.
I already answered it for him. Eli.
Anything else to add, Mr.? I want to explain my answers and why I pick people who I pick.
Captain Pontification.
Yeah, it's his backfield, right? Jermichael Hayes is getting some opportunities as a pass catcher, but it's a good matchup, and he's a top 15 running back this week. So it's pretty simple for me. I love Javonte, but he's still splitting touches. I'm assuming that's Brandon Cooks, and I want no part of that going against the Rams secondary. And I don't give a shit about Tyrod Taylor. I see Walito in here getting excited because Tyrod fucking Taylor. Like who cares? I could care less about Tyrod Taylor. They are going to get annihilated by the Rams, and so no, I want no part of that. And T. Higgins is fine, but I think you have to be concerned with how much they're going to have to throw the ball against this Jets team. So, I don't think they're going to have to throw the ball very much. They're already a team that wants to run the ball a lot, and so I think it's pretty simple. It's Eli Mitchell.
Speaking of that Bengals matchup where they might not have to throw the ball a lot, CHB has a running back question here, as if he is stuck in the Week 7 bye weeks. Samaje or Bolden? Tom, did you just fart? That is the look of a Chipotle fart that just left your body.
I didn't, but I got nervous for him. I was like, ooh.
You almost shit your pants for CHB.
Yeah, I did. That's never something you want to do, is shit your pants for somebody else.
God, no.
So Godspeed. Whatever your choice is, Godspeed.
Yeah. I'm going to stick Bolden here. CHB, if this is half PPR or PPR, I'm going to stick Bolden. I get it. Samaje's now actually had 2 weeks where he's gotten at least 11 carries and 50 yards, plus some receiving work as well. So he's almost getting that standalone value. I want to see it for maybe one more week. But if we're talking about a PPR league, we saw Ramondre Stevenson be on the inactive list. Brandon Bolden comes in and gets some work, and I think he can do that again against the Chargers. They are giving up a lot of work to passing downs running back. So I think Brandon Bolden can be your start here. But one more week of Samaje getting 11 touches, 50-ish yards, and I think we need to talk about him as a flex option.
Any differing opinions? We want to move on to Justin's question.
Boom.
Would you trade away Sanders and Drake for Edmonds in full PPR? Sanders and Drake both riding the bench here for Justin.
I'm guessing that's Emmanuel Sanders.
Ooh,
I was assuming it was Miles.
Miles is what I guess.
Miles died. He's dead.
Is he?
For a little bit. He's week to week.
For Tom, he did.
I don't know how long he'll be out. And Kev, you said it, what was it, a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago? And I did hear you on the running back ranking show. Completely agree. Like Miles Sanders, we had talked about it on the Sunday morning show. We felt like this was the time where he was going to get back involved. But finally a better matchup, right? He hadn't had great matchups, starting to get more involved, but didn't get the work. And we saw it, right? The first 5 or 6 touches, he's busting off 5-yard clips, 8-yard clips. He's having a really good start to the game. And then the injury happens, right? But I don't know if this injury is as long-term as it sounds with week to week. Like they're still monitoring, seeing if he's going to practice each week. They're not even considering IR at this point in time. So this might be a 1-week injury. And I still think what Kev was saying last week or a week ago, where he's still a really good buy low because their schedule opens up a lot more. He's getting most of the work. Gainwell was kind of being phased out. So I like Sanders almost equally as Edmonds. And then Drake's just kind of a toss in there. don't think I would do this, and I'm kind of an Edmonds guy, so I think I'd stick with Sanders.
I'm gonna stick with Sanders as well. I think once he's healthy, we saw that finally start to use him like you were touching on, Robbie. So that's always going to be a split with Edmonds, and he is not the goal line back. I made the reference of the Jerome Bettis, Willie Parker, and now James Conner taking that out west. So I would stick with Sanders there as well. Kev, this one for EB. Do you like Randall Cobb or Marvin Jones?
Tough.
I'm probably going to go Randall Cobb. I mean, they don't have any jobs that we know. Devontae Adams is out. We know Allen Lazard is out. Well, Allen Lazard is most likely out. Or not Allen Lazard, but Devontae Adams, I guess.
He didn't travel. He's out.
Okay. So he is definitely out. There's a possibility, I guess, that I don't know if they've announced anything on MVS. I know they were hoping to get him back, but which is a possibility. But, so I mean, who they throwing the ball to? They're going to be trailing in this game. They went from it was like a 3-point dog to I think it's up to 6.5 now. Probably is going to get to 7.5 probably by the time this game rolls around tomorrow. And so they're going to have to chuck the ball a lot. And, I think this is a game that, they're going to need Randall Cobb to really step up. And this is a bad secondary. So, I'm going to go Randall Cobb.
Yeah, this one's interesting. Just to jump in real quick because we know Randall Cobb has that history with Aaron Rodgers, right? Like he doesn't need to do anything as he's stepping into that role as the top wide receiver. We've seen it before, albeit it's been a couple years, but you could easily see, Randall Cobb kind of having the 8-9 catches, having a good shot at a touchdown against the Cardinals. So I do like Randall Cobb, but I also want to note that Marvin Jones has been really kind of underrated for what he's done in Jacksonville. He's only had a couple games under 8 targets, only 2 games under 8 targets. He's gotten touchdowns in 3 of 6 games. He got 100 yards in his last game in week 6. So I think it's almost like a nice floor with Randall Cobb where I know he's going to get some catches out of the slot. He's going to be fine. He's going to get you some decent PPR points. But Marvin Jones, with kind of just him and LaVisca right now, I do like them going against Seattle's secondary. So I would probably lean Marvin Jones unless you want just something safe. Then I'd go Randall Cobb.
I'm going to go Randall Cobb.
I will go with Randall Cobb as well.
Tom?
Tom, you said Cobb too, right?
Yep. Cobb salad all day.
It was a nice attempt, Robbie. I appreciate the effort that you put into that, but
mark it on the board.
You are the weakest link. Taji Karp trading Schultz and Bills D for Julio Jones. So already has Waller and Tonyan at tight end, then Tyreek, Manny, Myers, Bateman, Fuller. So outside of Tyreek, little weak there. Sanders and Myers are nice. Wide receiver 3s to have. Harris, Mike Davis, Gaskin, 4 Nets. So basically, we're never going to not trade away a defense if it can help us. But do you guys like trading away Schultz to pick up Julio Jones?
I think one of the few times you're probably starting Schultz over Waller is this week, right when Waller's on bye. We do have to remember Michael Gallup's coming back this week, so I wonder if that eats into Schultz's work. We saw really Michael Gallup had a really good week 1 until he got injured, and then that's when Dalton Schultz has really taken off since then. So I'm curious what that target share looks like with Gallup coming back. So I'm fine with this.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely picked up Schultz off of waivers, so
yeah. You have Waller and Tonyan, so
yeah. Brandon, another trade question: would you do Kareem Hunt for Josh Jacobs and Michael Gallup, or Rashad Penny? Rashad Penny's not a thing. 2 QB format, not that it matters for this. Then at running back, Jamal Williams, Edmonds, Hunt, D'Ernest, and Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jacobs started to look good. His receiving involvement was a little hit and miss. Whenever he came back from injury, it was 5, 4, and 1 targets. And then, he was having himself a nice day until the chest injury. But with them on bye this week, I don't think it's anything we need to be concerned about. So I would go ahead and do that and get Michael Gallup, not Rashad Penny. Chuba, Amari, T, PPR start 2 here for Double K.
This is going to be the wide receivers for me. I'm a little interested to see what happens this week with Chuba. This last week, he really lost a lot of work to Royce Freeman, or at least a lot of snap share. He actually went all the way down to 53% after having like a 70% snap share, and Freeman shot all the way up to 47%. So it's really got close to a split backfield. So I'm interested to see if they're not, they're not about what Chuba's been showing on the field or what's going on there. So he hasn't been all that effective, 3.7 yards per carry. So I don't know if Chuba's kind of that full workhorse, replacement for CMC that we thought a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to go Amari and T. Higgins here.
Kev, Tom, any?
It's definitely Amari. It's definitely Amari.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is a great matchup, though. I will say, for the Panthers running backs going against the Falcons. But Chuba Hubbard has just not been it.
Nope.
He is not. He has the one game, surprise, against the Eagles, where he goes off for 134 total yards.
Yeah, you suck. I love it.
But other than that, I mean, he hasn't scored more than 13 and a half. He has one game with that 18.4, and then he has, a 13.5 and a 10.9. I mean, he just hasn't really done nothing. And he has one touchdown through that span. Only has one goal line carry. Also, it doesn't really help either that the offense has been about as anemic as you possibly can get the last 3 or 4 weeks, And so, yeah, I'd probably go the wide receivers. I mean, it's close. I think it's close between Chuba and T, but I'd probably go T. Higgins.
I agree. We have a question here from Thomas. Thomas needs a wide receiver and a flex in a half PPR. Scary Terry, Pittman, Sutton, Corey Davis, and Gainwell. I assume Deontay is a lock in my other wide receiver spot.
Deontay is always a lock.
I'm
gonna go Terry and Pittman here.
I think Terry's a lock as well. I have Sutton and Pittman at 21 and 22, both really close. I mean, the Washington secondary is bottom of the league right now. They're just so vulnerable against the pass. You can also say that about the Tennessee Titans too. So it's really close there. You could say with Judy coming back, does that maybe lower Sutton's ceiling a little bit? And Pittman's kind of that only guy in town right now. Maybe that gives a slight bump to Pittman, but I'm okay with either one there.
Well, the matchup for Michael Pittman too, because the Titans give up the second most fantasy points a week to wide receivers, and that's just
who's first?
Huh? Is it
who's
first now?
Yeah.
Oh, who is first? Oh, god damn it!
That was my point. Yeah.
God damn it! It's negligible. It's negligible.
Yeah. Thomas, I think you're okay starting either one. I'll maybe just switch my rankings and put Pittman just ahead of Sutton, but I really like both these guys.
Well, you do have to factor in Judy coming back this week.
Yeah, I wish I had.
Robbie's not. Robbie is just dismissing Jerry Jeudy.
I literally said that. Are you guys deaf?
You really hate to see it. You really hate to see that too.
You do.
I mean,
you do.
Hey, no, Kev,
dismissing
we're Sutton guys here. Come on now. Don't
I am too. I am a Sutton guy, but this is definitely Terry and Pittman.
But
Pittman is the alpha in that offense, right?
We all said it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just Walito. This guy just throwing 5 Canadian doll hairs at us just to.
What's
just
SSN? Social Security.
Season.
I don't think they have Z's in Canada,
Season.
so I think that's French Canadian for season.
Oh,
yeah. They don't use Z's up north. Well, appreciate it. You better hope that MT is a thing in that offense. Kyle K coming through. Mitchell, Harris, Javonte, Moss. Start 1 for Kyle's RB2 spots.
This is Mitchell for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only one coming close is maybe Damian Harris. But Damian Harris is interesting because they absolutely crushed this last week, and he still only had 14 carries. And I get it. He scored 2 touchdowns, had over 100 yards. It was fantastic. But his ceiling, if he's not scoring those touchdowns, is kind of capped. So LA Chargers, you can run against them as well. So probably not worried about him. But I think Eli Mitchell has just kind of separated himself is he's going to get a good workload most weeks with that 49ers offense. Again, going back to the Kyle Shanahan, the reason I was so high on Sermon was, hey, if we have a guy that's going to get to work in the 49ers backfield, that's the guy you want on your fantasy team because it doesn't matter what the name is. They find success, and we're finding that with Eli Mitchell.
You hold on to that Sermon bandwagon whatever way you can.
I'm not holding. What's the attack? Like I'm not holding on to him. Get out of here attacking me, Cody. This is not going to be. Get out of here.
I didn't do anything wrong to you. Why are you attacking me?
He's always got no.
You see Robbie's one hand just like, yeah, I like Eli Mitchell, and then over here on this other hand is just holding on for dear life.
If Eli Mitchell goes down, you guys will have Trey Sermon as a top 20 back. Like that's what I'm saying. We want the back.
Would we? Was he a top 20? Was he a top 20 back? Oh, we've seen Mitchell out. We've seen it.
Yeah, I guess he was a top 20 back. Trey Sermon. Like I'm just saying. Anyways, we want the back in the backfield for Kyle.
Is anybody straying away from Mitchell?
No. I have one more question to me, and I have to go to bed. Sorry.
Wow.
It's nighttime.
You got that warm glass of milk waiting for you upstairs? Your wife's waiting for you? Here you go, honey.
Here you go.
At this point, it's prune juice and a robe, okay? You know what I'm talking about, breakout age 45.
And some Metamucil. Don't forget the Metamucil before you go to bed, Tom.
If you have enough hairs, you're fine.
Metamucil.
What does Metamucil even do?
What is that?
I think it helps constipation. It's like a fiber supplement to make sure that you stay regular.
Kevin, can you confirm this?
That is wild.
Tom, this is right up your alley. Devonta Smith or T here for TX, and we'll let you bounce.
I'm going to go with Devonta Smith here for everything we said before. As much as I like T. Higgins, Devonta Smith is the alpha in that offense, even though I hate him. Everything about him. Hate him.
They just need to blow it all. Just get rid of everybody. Everybody up top. Just get rid of them all. Sirianni's an idiot.
Yeah, don't stop, Kev.
Tom,
don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Howie Roseman. Can we talk about Howie Roseman?
I'm out.
This sounds like the bedtime stories of Tom Rees's children.
Once upon a time, Howie Roseman went and fucked himself and an entire city.
All right, buddy. I'll see you Friday.
All right, guys. Have a good night. See you Friday. Later, boys.
Later. I agree with Tom. I would go Devonta Smith there as well. Noel has a trade question. Amari Cooper for T. Higgins and AB. I have Higgins and AB, but AB still dealing with the ankle sprain.
Have you guys heard a little bit about AB and if they're going to hold him out for a couple more weeks? I feel like there's some rumors that it's not.
I think they said that they spotted him with a crutch today.
Yeah, I'm curious if this is a longer injury than initially thought.
I don't think
they do have their bye week.
I mean, where they stand, I just don't think there's any reason to rush them back.
Cody, what did you say that the bye was when?
Next week. So it's after.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous to have him play this week.
Yeah. Thank God I talked about having him as a top 10 option on the waiver on the receiver ranking show, and then it comes out he's on a crutch. All right. Anyway, back to this trade. What do you guys think about this?
So you'd be getting Amari Cooper.
Yes. No, I will be getting Amari Cooper, trading away Higgins and AB.
Yeah, that's what I said. Is that what I said? Is that what I said? That's what I meant to say if I didn't. Yeah, Amari Cooper.
Just yeah.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that trade.
You don't want which side? Say what side you prefer.
I want T. Higgins and AB.
Yeah.
I mean, we can keep waiting for Amari Cooper to explode and have sustained success. I mean, Amari Cooper's been fine, but like he's just not like the way they've been able to run the ball and everything else this year. Like this offense hasn't been what we thought it was going to be. It's still a good offense. It's still, you know, in terms of like real football and everything, but fantasy purposes, it just hasn't been great. And so, I mean, there's been some options, you know, on a week to week that's been good. And now you're going to add in Michael Gallup back into the mix whenever he comes back, whenever they activate him. I know he's activated, you know, to return, but so no, I don't want Amari. Like no, like you're like that. That's way too much. I mean, AB has multiple weeks of, you know, top 10 performances this year, and you know he'll be fine once he comes back from injury. You know, I think probably week 10. I would expect it probably more likely he's back, and then T Higgins first week back, you know, 15 targets right down the gullet. So, you know, yeah, I want T Higgins and AB.
I'm sticking on that side as well. Also, just realized we are 35 minutes behind on questions, as is tradition. So I saw the comments of Walito being excited for Tom, and then I realized what time it was. So to try and go through a couple of these quickly, unless we have some debating points here. But Robbie, Patterson or Thielen for the flex and a full PPR for EB?
Let's go Patterson here.
What'd you say?
Is that correct?
That's correct.
That is correct. Ray, our guy Ray, joining us. Kev, who are we starting in standard? Boom.
You skipping Ray's kicker question here?
Kicker?
Where? Yeah. Let's get him some kicker help here. I'm going.
Well, there were other people who were up next. I'm not.
Well, it was above it. Anyways, I'm going to go Greg Joseph versus the Cowboys. I think the Vikings can move the football, get some field goals. Ray, let's go Greg Joseph.
Oh.
No, it's okay.
Man, I am.
You're good.
I'm off.
Hurts or Dak? Are you guys concerned a little bit about Dak? I feel like the Cowboys are underselling this ankle. I bet he plays, but I don't know if he practices. And I guess if he plays, it doesn't matter to us. But I'm curious. I think it's a little bit more serious than they've let on.
No, because I think why play him if he's that hurt? Like you know, with the record they have, sit him for another week, get him right. Like it makes no sense to rush, especially with the injury he's coming off of. Like I think if he plays, and there's no reason to really have him out there at practice either, to be honest. And so let him sit, let him continue to, you know, he's going to work on the side. I think they said today did some individual work and all that stuff. So
just with the trainer, but yeah.
I don't think there's really anything to be concerned with him. If he's going to be out there to play, there's no way they put him out there and he's not, you know, ready to go.
I think I saw that you had him at 3. So I'm going to guess you're going Dak. I have Hurts at 4, Dak at 5. So I'm going to lean Hurts just because he's scored at least 20 points in the 4-point per passing TD every single week. Like Hurts is just, I get it. You're really nervous until the fourth quarter comes because it's just been so questionable, but he's just so solid that I don't want to sit him. I'm a Dak guy. I love it. I hope he's fantastic this week against the Vikings. Going to go to that game and hopefully he tears it up, but I'm going to lean Hurts just by a hair. Cody, who do you got?
I'm going to break the tie, and I'm going to go Dak here. You know, unless we start to hear something where, you know, we might see more of the run game because of, you know, if they're worried about this injury. But like Kev said, I don't think if they were that worried about it with everything they have going on, you just sit them, especially coming out of that bye week. So give me Dak, but, you know, if your second option is Hurts, you're in fine shape there. Gallo, Sanders or Alex Collins in the flex full PPR. This is going to be Manny for me.
Yeah. Yep. Agree.
Aqua coming through again. Cav, 1 here. Pittman, Van Jeff, or Judy?
Van Jeff or Judy?
Man, they just put this up on a platter so I can just knock this one out of the park. This one's Michael Pittman.
Yeah. I love Judy this week, but Pittman is the answer. Uzi, Callaway, Mooney, Damian Williams, RSJ, Pascal. We need 2 out of this group. Let's break this one down. Do we feel, is there a lock here for either of you?
Not specifically.
I think it's Callaway for sure.
That's who I'm leaning. I'm leaning Callaway and Ricky Seals-Jones out of this group. But I mean,
I think Damian Williams is droppable at this point.
Yeah,
he was split. He wasn't splitting carries with Khalil Herbert. He was splitting carries with what's the
Ryan Nall.
Name? Yeah, Ryan Nall. Right, and then Montgomery's gonna be back soon. Like, yeah, I mean, you could drop Damian Williams. He's not a thing anymore. I don't think.
If T.Y. Hilton were sitting this week, but it sounds like he's going to play, I would go Pascal, but I'm going to also go Callaway and RSJ. What's up, Anthony? Thank you for joining us from SoCal. Still light over there. That must be nice. Appreciate you joining us. If you're new, like Anthony, would like to give us a sub, we would appreciate that. Squish Giant Joe.
You enjoy that?
I do.
Hey, Twitch, this pond is growing. I just want you guys to know the Twitch pond continues to grow.
We went from a fish. We went from last fish in the pond to a giant squid chode. Made a blockbuster trade today. Moved Mixon, Godwin, Judy for Kamara and Golladay. And the core is now Kyler, Zeke, Kamara, McLaurin, Marvin Jones in a 12-teamer. I think you overreacted to the Kamara game and gave up way too much.
Not for me.
If you would have got a different wide receiver than Golladay, I think it would be okay. I wouldn't mind it. But
I mean, read his roster with the players he had, right? Kyler, Zeke, Mixon, McLaurin, Godwin, and then Judy.
Returning.
You know what I mean? Like, I think your roster was pretty solid beforehand.
And a 12-teamer? Yeah.
Yeah, man. That is a deadly roster. Mixon and
I think
Kamara,
you just hurt your wide receiver. I mean, Golladay can't stay healthy. Once again, surprise, surprise. And then, now you really are relying on McLaurin and Marvin Jones to, I don't know what your rest of your bench looks like, but, I think you would have been better off not making that move.
Yeah. It is a blockbuster, but I think, unfortunately, you were on the wrong side of that.
Like blockbuster.
Giant choke.
Running out. Yep.
Out of this group, let's just assume that Brandon is picking up someone worthy for dropping one of these guys. Would you drop any of them?
Jarvis, I think you can.
Yep, Jarvis, you can.
Question here from the new SoCal guy. Damian? Okay, Daryl, never mind. I see the KC. Daryl Williams, Damian Harris, Elijah Mitchell, Herbert. Need 2 and a flex. Wide receivers are Woods, Moore, AJ Brown, Schultz. Okay. So 2 and a flex here.
Well, Herbert's a lock.
Interesting.
Talking
Wouldn't call him a lock.
Talking up Mitchell. Well, I guess you were talking up Mitchell, and I know Kev likes Mitchell as well.
Talk to us about Herbert a little bit, Kev.
What is there to discuss? I mean, he's done it now 2 weeks in a row. I mean, last week against the best run defense in the league. It's his backfield. He's operating under, he's getting all the touches. He's even, getting pass catching work, 8 targets in the last 2 games. I'm not scared whatsoever of the San Francisco run defense. And so, I mean, he continues to see a heavy workload. It doesn't even matter if they fall behind. We saw that even last week against San Francisco or against the Bucs. They're just going to continue to run the ball. And so Herbert, I really easily, I want to put Herbert in my top 10 because I think that's where he belongs. But there's just some running backs that I just can't realistically put him ahead of and feel right about it. And so he's at as high as I can get him. But I think it wouldn't be upset at all if he was in the top 10 because I think that's where he deserves to be.
Where do you have him?
I have him at 14. So
yeah, I have him at 16. So oddly enough, I have Daryl Williams, Khalil Herbert, Elijah Mitchell, 15, 16, 17. So I think I would go Daryl Williams. Just with that offense, I get it. We didn't see it last week. I'm going to throw that game out for the Chiefs. They get the Giants this week. I think we see a good opportunity for him to find the end zone. And then Herbert just over Mitchell. And honestly, everything you said about Herbert was the same for Mitchell, except he doesn't have the pass catching work. So that's where I'm going to give the bump to Herbert. But if we need a flex, we can do all three, right?
Yeah, we're gonna flex. We're gonna flex Eli or Harris.
Oh, it's Eli.
Yeah, we're flexing Eli.
Paulo. Okay, that's the giant show just jumping over to YouTube.
2 blockbuster trades
With the same players? My God. Forgive Jonah. Now that Ingram has been traded, who do you like here as a pickup, DJ or Bolden? Or I guess to start.
Yeah, I think David Johnson's worth a speculative add here. Let's see how that works out. I bet Philip Lindsay takes most of Ingram's rushing down work, but you got to assume with
I think it's a start set, not a pickup. That's my.
Okay.
I made an assumption.
Probably still the same. Probably still the same answer for me with David Johnson. I think he kind of offers you the same pass catching that Bolden does. I just think the Rams are going to be they're going to score a lot more on Houston than Chargers might against the Patriots. So give me better game script for David Johnson.
Kev, do we think Mitchell will hold the backfield when Wilson comes back?
Yeah, 100%.
Now, here's a pickup question. Would you pick up David Johnson since Ingram got traded?
For what? For who?
Don't really have anyone that drop. Benches Higgins, A.B. Meyer, Ertz, Gordon, Tony.
No.
Unless Ertz is a backup to a top 5 tight end, no.
Jordan Ramirez, PPR, Evans, McLaurin, D-Hop.
Ooh.
D-Hop listed as questionable but expected to play with the hammy.
I'm gonna go Hopkins.
I have Hopkins a couple spots higher than McLaurin. I will lean Hopkins as well.
Jair's, how do we feel about Cobb over 46.5 yards?
Smash that over.
Let's do it.
Ronnie D joining us again. Good to see Ronnie D in here. Tough one. Zerline or Crosby? Robbie, since you are our resident kicker expert, who do you like?
Let me consult the kicker rankings that I've spent so much time on. And yes, Greg Zuerlein is ahead of Mason Crosby. Start Zuerlein, Greg the leg with confidence.
Kev, would you trade Judy for Logan Thomas and Robbie Anderson for Joseph?
So this isn't a no. It's an absolutely fuck no. Okay? We're not doing that trade. We want
Where did this come from?
Yes.
Okay? Hey,
Yes.
we got to have conviction around here. No soft takes, okay? So I don't care. We don't want Logan Thomas, and we definitely don't want Robbie Anderson, who really should be cut at this point. If they didn't make a terrible decision by extending him, then he should really just be cut by now because he has been one of the worst wide receivers in the league this year.
Crip, we need a flex here. Manny, Pittman, Gainwell. This is going to be Pittman for me. A clean sweep.
Clean sweep.
Boom. Kruger. Got off for Monty and Callaway for Chase Edmonds and Jacoby. Which side do we want?
I want Kev to answer this because I heard a lot of David Montgomery slander.
It's not slander. It's absolutely true.
There was some slander. There was quite a bit of slander.
It's because you should no longer feel comfortable with David Montgomery when he comes back. I'm not saying that David Montgomery is not going to be the starting running back in this backfield, but he's not going to get the 88% of the opportunities that he was getting before. All that's done. And so he's probably going to come down and 60% range. There's no way you pull Khalil Herbert off the field with the way that he's been playing. And so I just don't want any part of David Montgomery. It's already on a bad offense. And, now we're going to be talking about like at best, you're talking about a two-man rotation between him and Khalil Herbert. And then you could also have Damian Williams factored in as well. And who knows when Tariq Cohen comes back, if he comes back, how that's going to play out. So I just don't want any part of David Montgomery. And so, no, I would rather have Chase Edmonds and Jacoby.
You know who was doing what Khalil Herbert was doing before Khalil Herbert? It was David Montgomery. He was doing the same thing. He had 2 100-yard games in 4 weeks. Like, nothing's wrong with David Montgomery. He is going to be the starting running back. Don't do this. Dearness Johnson's going to take over and eat into the major workload of Nick Chubb.
Listen, David Montgomery is not Nick Chubb. Okay,
this is not a thing. Where you're
I will not allow
you're not replacing
of Nick Chubb
the starting running back
David fucking
who's
Montgomery,
successful.
Nick Chubb, okay,
who's successful in his running game, has done nothing to show you that he should be benched. No, David Montgomery is still the starter. I like this trade, Kylan. I would get David Montgomery and Marquez Callaway for Edmonds and Jacoby. As much as I like Jacoby, I think he has a low ceiling. Even if he starts scoring touchdowns every third week, fourth week, I think he has a low ceiling. So I'm going to go David Montgomery, Marquez Callaway over Edmonds and Jacoby.
I'll break the tie, and I'm going to take the Monty side as well. You're still.
Listen to me, Kylan.
Listen.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Kylan. All right, that's all I'm going to say.
It's not like Chase Edmonds is locked into the touches. So even if they are splitting, David Montgomery still has a higher touchdown opportunity than Chase Edmonds does because Edmonds isn't getting the goal line work. And I think Callaway is at least a higher upside shot over Jacoby.
Cody, can you do some quick math for me? Can you add up all the touchdowns from
4.
Chase Edmonds and Jacoby Myers? Do you have that total for me?
Well, I know one side of that equation is 0.
0 touchdowns.
Oh,
what happens if
the most volatile stat to try to justify something? Okay, how about we take the guy with the most pass catching upside? How about we do that? Or we're going to talk about Marquez Callaway, who I like Marquez Callaway.
Yeah. Talk bad about your guy Marquez Callaway.
Okay?
Talk bad
about it. He has one game. He's done one, and Michael Thomas is coming back into the fold here.
And I think that helps Callaway.
It could. It very well could. It very well could. But David Montgomery is not the David Montgomery.
Stop.
I'm just saying. He's not going to be his backfield. The selling point of David Montgomery was the fact that he was going to get 70 to 80% of the backfield touches. That was the selling point.
He's efficient with the touches he gets. He's
not going to do that anymore. That's not going to be the role he gets when he comes back. Mark my words. Just like what I said from the beginning of this, before it all happened, before Khalil Herbert touched the ball, once David Montgomery went down, I told everybody, pick up Khalil Herbert, don't mess with Damian Williams. Pick up Khalil Herbert, don't mess with Damian Williams. And I have been right, and I will be proved right again.
Ty Johnson.
Debbie Kevy at it again. Thoughts on adding JaMycal Hasty? I like him as a speculative ad. For whatever reason, we cut it out from the wide receiver show, but Kev went on a little Kyle Shanahan rant at the end. Yes. For whatever reason, it was unnecessary.
Make it an addendum pod, just an addendum pod, right?
We'll turn into a YouTube short. But anyway, for whatever reason, Kyle Shanahan, who has a good pass-catching back in Eli Mitchell, is not using him as a pass-catching back and is giving targets to JaMycal Hasty. So I like him, and it's fine. And we know at any point in time, Kyle Shanahan can pull a Kyle Shanahan and just put JaMycal Hasty as a lead back. I'm not calling for that to happen, but in the realm, in the continuum of Kyle Shanahan possibilities, that is one of them. So I like JaMycal Hasty as a speculative ad, or at least as a stash to kind of see what happens, especially in 12-team leagues or higher. Jordan Ramirez currently trying to trade Melvin Gordon and Elijah Mitchell for Josh Jacobs, or should I do Eli for Hunt 1-for-1 and wait for Hunt?
I think you're getting rid of – you're not valuing Eli Mitchell where you should be, in my opinion. I think Eli Mitchell has a very solid workload right now, and I'm not worried about Jeff Wilson coming back. I think that's later in November, and if he does come back, I think it's more of the JaMycal Hasty role. I'm fine with Eli Mitchell, and so I think I wouldn't even trade him straight up for Josh Jacobs personally.
Kev, thoughts?
Kyle Shanahan should be fired.
Run it back. Do it again.
No, we're not going to do it again. We don't have time. We just went on a David Montgomery. I just basically said that Kyle Shanahan's a fraud, is what I said.
For 3 minutes.
yeah. Long story short, I say he's a fraud and shouldn't be a head coach. Anyways, yeah, no, Melvin Gordon doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't really care about him, but it's I don't want to get rid of Elijah Mitchell. I think this is his backfield. I don't care about Jeff Wilson when he comes back. He's not taking the job from Elijah Mitchell, and so sometimes you miss. But hey, that's why you draft multiple running backs. They missed on Trey Sermon. I mean, Trey Sermon's a bust. It's fine. They got their guy at Elijah Mitchell, the more explosive running back. So it's Elijah Mitchell's backfield.
Our kicker and defensive expert, Robbie, for Beer Lover Jim here, Rams or Bills D this week?
Very close. Two fantastic matchups for both of these defenses. They're both going to be top 5 for me. I'm going to give the slight edge to the Rams to create some turnovers versus the Houston Texans.
Ooh. Man.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
I saw he was out for the game. I didn't. Yikes. Imagine wasting your career in Houston, then you get on an undefeated team, and now you're out for the year.
You just can't stay healthy. It's a shame. I mean, one of the best defensive players we've ever seen.
Beer Lover Jim has a question for the fiancé. 1 running back, 2 flex. Javonte, Darrell Williams, Thielen, Gaskin, McKissick, Judy. So out of the running backs, who are we plugging in here? Javonte, Darrell, Gaskin, McKissick. I'm going to go D. Will.
Mm-hmm. Same.
2 flex. Kev, who do you like here? I like Thielen for 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who are we going for numero dos? Can we make this a clean sweep for all 3?
Javonte Williams.
I also say Javonte.
I might go Myles Gaskin, the guy that I said we're done with Myles Gaskin. And here's the reason why. Like, obviously Malcolm Brown's out of there, so now we're just down to 2 guys, right? And I think Myles Gaskin's biggest thing is he just didn't have the workload. They were splitting work between 3 guys. They get the Buffalo Bills. I don't think you can pass with on the Buffalo Bills a ton, so you're going to have to do something else. You're going to have to throw to running backs, to your tight ends, to something else, because their corners are best in the league right now. They're playing fantastic. So I honestly think Myles Gaskin gets a lot of that work we saw. What was it, 2 weeks ago, where he had like 8 receptions or 10 receptions, something like that? I think we see a good receiving work game from Myles Gaskin. Javonte, as much as we want it to happen, I'm not sure if this is the matchup against Washington. Washington's front is actually really, really good. The way you beat Washington is through the air. You don't beat them running the football up the middle. So that's why I will go Gaskin over Javonte Williams.
Kev, Tua, Wentz, or Teddy Two Gloves? You going to lock in Tua here for Aquavision? You going elsewhere?
Definitely going elsewhere. Going Carson Wentz. I have Carson Wentz at top 12.
13.
And Aquavision. Are you excited about Deshaun Watson? Are you excited to get Deshaun Watson?
Whenever the alert went off today and it said Texans trade, I was like, oh shit, here we go. Then it was Ingram.
Next week, November 1st.
Truth Teller has Kamara and Fournette as RB1 and 2. Mixon and Edmonds on the bench. I try to flip Mixon and Edmonds for a wide receiver, maybe like Tyreek Hill. Cup and Lamb are the wide receivers.
Why does everybody hate Joe Mixon?
It's never made sense. I would just keep Mixon, and assuming you have a flex spot, just roll out the guaranteed touches every single week.
Because first of all, you're not getting Tyreek Hill for Joe Mixon. You would have to include more, I would think, for that to get Tyreek. I don't know, maybe with Tyreek coming off a down week, but it's still Tyreek Hill. You're not, and I think most people have the same sentiment of not really excited about Joe Mixon. So, and I know you're adding Edmonds in, or no, it was just okay, yeah. So it was just Mixon, but yeah. I don't know. You're not getting Tyreek Hill for that though. I would hold Joe Mixon. Have we not seen how many running backs have gotten hurt? We want running backs. We're not trying to trade away our running backs for wide receivers. It's just not. There's just not a smart play. We want to hold our running backs. We want to trade for running backs. We want to acquire running backs. We don't want to be trading them off for wide receivers unless you are just absolutely stacked at running back, which in this situation you would not be. And by the way, this week you should be starting Joe Mixon over Leonard Fournette.
That was going to be my question. You guys are all starting Mixon over Fournette, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So, truth teller, we are advocating you not only don't trade him, put him in your lineup over Fournette. Mixon has been 90 yards or a touchdown in all but 1 week.
And this is also not a matchup you want to play a running back in. The Saints are elite against the run.
Yep. Rasmussen, 2 flex spots and a full PPR. Here we go. Metcalf, Gibson, Harris, Williams, Edmonds. Please help. Starters are Debo, Deontay, and Fournette.
Man, Gibson is just, it's interesting is he practiced limited today for the first time in forever. He has never practiced on Wednesday. Now he practices limited on Wednesday. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Why are they doing this?
Man, it's hard to sit him.
And I was really hoping that Pete Carroll would get fired, but he's going to get the out of Russell Wilson was out, and that's why. Because Pete Carroll is also a fraud.
You want a lot of coaches fired, Kev.
I just don't want bad coaches. I don't
disagree with you.
We have other coaches that are more deserving of jobs. Brian Daboll is one I definitely think deserves a head coaching job. Eric Bieniemy deserves a head coaching job.
Okay. 2 flex spots: Metcalf, Gibson, Harris, Williams, Edmonds.
We'll finish that conversation later. Give me Darrell Williams and Metcalf.
I'm going to go Harris and Williams.
We're sitting DK Metcalf against the Jaguars.
I'm sitting Geno Smith.
I mean, Geno didn't look terrible last week. I didn't think he looked that bad. He was getting pressured a lot. And so, I'm not worried about the Jaguars doing that to them.
He had this weird thing for Geno, man. He's not looked good, at all. He's actually been really bad. Very bad. Not good at all.
I mean, he was competent, and it's the Jaguars. So
I'm fine with that. I'm starting Metcalf. Yeah, Metcalf. I'm not starting Damian Harris. I'm going to go Darrell Williams. What did you say? Metcalf and who?
So I would go Metcalf, Darrell Williams, and then I'm sitting Leonard Fournette and playing Damian Harris.
Okay.
I just don't want to play Leonard Fournette against the Saints. I just don't think it's a very good matchup. He could get there by pass catching volume.
Pass catching is why I would.
But,
still. Yeah.
but I don't feel great about it with him. So I don't know. I just don't love Fournette. I have Fournette 25, I think 24.
Sorry, we got to catch up. Go ahead.
Judy Cobb Shepard.
I'm gonna go Judy here.
Let's go. You're rolled out, Robbie. It's two Judys. I know you're a hater, and you're not gonna go Judy.
Well, why are we excited about Judy coming off an injury? I feel like it's the same discussion that we were worried about Sutton coming off the injury at the beginning of the year. Why are we just willing to throw him in the lineups for a run first team? I'm just curious about that. I would rather start Randall Cobb, who's the only guy left in town, really, or even Sterling Shepard coming back from injury. Judy would be last for me here.
7 targets on 24 routes run, week 1. In a good matchup. You were talking about really liking Sutton this week because of the matchup. You have to like Judy as well. I can't imagine they would rush him back if he weren't ready.
Sure.
That's why. Any improvements I can make in my team: Herbert, Cook, Mixon, Madison, Gainwell, Hawk, Terry, Deontay, Davis, Sutton, Pittman. 12 team that got pumped last week.
Is that good?
Well, I think that was just because you had some
bye weeks will do that to you.
Yeah, I mean Herbert, no Cook, no Deontay. So yeah, I don't think there's anything that I can tell that I think you absolutely need to go do.
I would maybe package some of those wide receiver twos and try and get a top 4 wide receiver. I think you have a lot of good. Terry's maybe that low end wide receiver 1. Deontay's right on that fringe, right? But you have Terry, Deontay, Sutton, Pittman. Can you package 2 of those guys
Sutton
and upgrade?
Pittman.
Can you upgrade to a wide receiver 1 there?
Yeah, maybe try sell high on Sutton and Pittman coming off of his big game. You know what I mean? If you can make a clear improvement there, because I really do like Pittman rest of the season as well. But yeah, I think it's a solid squad.
Yep.
Jay, who should I start at wide receiver? PPR can only start 3. Kev, who do you like here out of Mike Williams, AJB, Higgins, Claypool? Who are you sitting?
Higgins.
Ashton, let's go. Start 2 here. Landry, Shenault, Ayuk, Kirk, Osborne.
Christian, Kirk.
Who's the other one?
Who's the other one?
Who's the other one? Laviska Shenault.
Yes. I'll give Shenault there as well. Did see 10 targets in the last game, and if Jamal Agnew can stop being a thing, that would help the target.
Yeah, and I can't play Dante Pettis right now, so
he wishes he was Dante Pettis. D-Boy, 2 wide receiver spots, 2 flex spots, and a full PPR. D-Hop, Jefferson, Jones, Swift, AJ Brown. Whew.
Wait, who are you starting at run? Who else? Who are you actually starting at running back?
My God. This has to be an 8-teamer, right? Or a dynasty league. That's a 6-teamer, because even an 8-teamer you wouldn't be that loaded. This has to be like a 6-teamer or a
well,
or
yeah,
a dynasty.
I don't still know. It depends on the other running backs you have.
Yeah. Oh boy! All right, let's break this down.
Okay, well, the 2 flexes for me are going to be Aaron Jones and Swift.
Okay.
And then the 2 wide receivers are going to be AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson.
Boom.
I don't mind DeAndre Hopkins, but man, like I just feel like they could throttle the Packers a little bit or get way ahead in this game, and I just don't think I could see him just not be utilized all that much. It's and so I just don't feel comfortable with it. And if he is nursing some sort of a hamstring injury, that could be pulled at any time. I don't mind playing D-Hop. I think if you have to, but in this situation, since you don't have to play him, I would prefer just to go with the other guys.
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. Well, Lito obviously heard that conversation already. Joel wants to know when CMC will be back.
Don't ask us this. We saw 2020. Not sure. Most likely, I think he has 1 more week on IR, and then he's eligible to return. So most likely out 1 more week. No guarantees.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, with this feels like a rerun of last season. We had
seen this movie before.
Starter. Oh, so maybe they only run 1 start. Okay, so that's smart for them to do it.
Okay.
1 starting running back, and then you have all those flexes. So yeah, it's an 8-man. So, but like I said before, man, you hear a lot of people a lot of times. People put their, you'll see it on Twitter and other stuff like that. People will like ask a question, they'll drop their teams, and people will like make fun of them for like how big their league is. I'm like, that's a bitch. Those are tough decisions. Like people can sit there and knock it all they want, but like having to make those decisions every week, I'm like, because if you're talking about guys who are all like top 10 options for the most part, right? And then trying to figure out which one, and you always feel like you probably get something wrong where you have, guys on the bench that went off, but then your starters didn't do as well. So, yeah, I don't know. Like the smaller the league size, though, it's just much tougher decisions you have to make.
I feel like you have a lot more rage each week, right? When you start the wrong guy and you lose your league by 5 points, if you had started Zeke over, Aaron Jones, right? Aaron Jones this week, right? Perfect guy, should have been one of the top scorers. He has a down week, and you should have started this other player. I feel like those leagues are more rage-inducing.
Yeah, either that or like not even flops. You can still have Aaron Jones have a fine week, think he was in a smash pod, gets 16, but Zeke goes for 25 and you lose your league by 8. You know what I mean? That was it. So Yeah, I completely agree, Kev. Like, is it more difficult? Is there more strategy with 12 teams? Like, sure, but have fun making those kind of start-sit decisions each and every week. IT traded Debo for Ridley and Chris Carson.
Yes, and I don't think Chris Carson has anything to do with it.
Yeah, one for one.
Yep.
But man, I need Calvin Ridley to start turning all those targets into some yards and hopefully touchdowns, because the target share is there. The connection with Matt Ryan, not quite. So we need to see it here in the next couple weeks.
I think Kyle Pitts taking off the way that he is will help.
Yeah.
And hey, Kyle Pitts can't do it because he's a rookie tight end. Rookie tight ends don't do it, but suck an egg. Uzi, should I trade Chubb for Eli, AB, and Jacoby?
I don't think so, but I want to know more. I want to know what you need for the rest of your roster. Like, are you really, you don't have any depth and you need to start AB and Jacoby Myers? I'm curious what the rest of the roster looks like. I would say most likely no. I would not do this.
I'm with you. Agreed. Let us know. Drop the rest of your roster in here, Uzi, if you're still rocking with us. Darrell Williams or Chuba Hubbard. This is going to be Darrell Williams for us. We're kind of out, or at least not as excited about Chuba as we were in weeks past. The easy money Sicilian back with us. Waddle or Thielen this week in a full PPR. Do you guys know Waddle's practice status from today? I saw maybe it's Pro Football Doc, I think, said that even though Waddle hurt that ankle and ended up returning and finishing the game, like, don't be surprised, because I guess the way that the injury looked, there was a risk for a high ankle sprain, and obviously he would have been out. I did not. What did you say?
I said interesting. Yeah, I didn't know this.
Yeah, there was a risk for it. I did not see. Let me try and pull this up real quick.
Yeah, while you do that real quick, I'm a little nervous about the pass catchers for the Dolphins. You know, it's when I was talking about Myles Gaskin a little bit. They go up against two really good cornerbacks for the Buffalo Bills, have been playing fantastic. Not only Tre'Davious White, I'm blanking on the other name right now. I apologize, but the other corner for the Bills has been fantastic, only allowing like 43% of catches on his side of the football field as well. So I'm kind of a little bit down on Waddle this week. Normally he'd be closer to a wide receiver 2 right outside there. And I have him down maybe the 31, 32 range. So I'm going to go Thielen here.
I'm going to go Thielen as well. Waddle was not on the injury report. Murdoch, Hilton, Gordon, Collins in the flex. I'm going to go TY.
I'm going to go Alex Collins.
Alex Collins for me. Yeah.
Okay, but you're wrong, and I hate you. J2 Nice, would you trade Kelsey for D-Hop or Diggs?
No. Unless you have a Waller, Hawkinson, you know, one of those top 3 other tight ends, no.
Where's Mike Gesicki?
Mike Gesicki's interesting because what do you guys feel like? And I know we're kind of behind on questions, but when these other weapons come back, do you think his target share starts to dwindle a little bit where he's now more in the 6 to 12 range instead of a top 5 guy most weeks?
I mean, who have they? I mean, outside, I guess it's really been Devontae Parker, right? I mean, that's been. I mean,
Parker, Fuller, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's. I guess it's possible, but they're using him like a wide receiver. I mean,
Correct.
so, I mean, I guess it's possible, but I don't know. I don't know if he goes away completely.
I'd say no, J2 Nice. I would keep Kelsey here.
Tam needs 3 running backs and 2 wide receivers. So let's start with the receivers. A.J. Brown, Mike Williams, Pittman. Oh, boy. Who are you sitting out of that group?
I think you got to sit Pittman. there.
Yeah.
3 running backs. Eckler, Chubb. I'm assuming we are locking in. Who do we want for that third one between Williams, Gibson, Collins?
Darrell Williams will be the highest guy for me there.
Boom. Jesus G, Jacoby Myers or Khalif Raymond or Jamison Crowder?
I'm going with Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby for me as well. Santiago, would you trade Mixon and AB for Ridley? Running backs or JT and Carter? I would not do that.
Whoa.
Ronnie, start wide receiver 2, Smith or Emmanuel Sanders? It's going to be Devonta for me.
Yes, Devonta.
And then RB2, Gainwell or Zach Moss?
I'm going to go with Kev here. Go some Zach Moss. I'm not sure. I'm curious about these Eagles because I think they activate Jordan Howard. And I know that doesn't affect Gainwell as much as Boston Scott, but I'm not sure how much they run the football, to be honest with you. They didn't really run it before. Now you're splitting it all up. I don't know how valuable any of those running backs are going to be.
Gabriel, should I trade Henderson and Marvin Jones for Travis Kelce? I would.
No.
What's your running back situation after that? Because Darrell Henderson, when healthy, is going to be a top 10 back.
I mean, I don't know if Henderson has had a top 10 week, has he?
Yeah, he's scored most weeks. He's had 70 yards.
Yeah, I mean, he's 13th at fantasy points per game. Yeah. He has week 6 he was the RB5, and week 2 he was the RB11. So
one.
2.
One top 10 week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming, Henderson drafted in what, 5th, 6th round, like he was getting pretty dumped on and pretty hated. So, I mean, I guess if you went like a more 0 RB or an anchor RB approach, it's possible that Henderson is your, let's say Henderson is their RB3.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. If Henderson's your RB3, depending on who you have next, because again, like Kev said earlier in the show, this is the time of year, especially after we just saw the bye NATO. I get it. We're not going to have 6 teams on bye.
He just said he has JT and he just traded for Alvin Kamara.
So he has JT and Alvin Kamara. That's a great start. I would probably be okay adding Kelce.
Yeah. How do
you gotta have something as your running back 3 though. You have to have a person, a human that's getting some work though. Most likely, yes.
Yeah.
I love Travis Kelce, right? But I'm going to say a couple things. One, he's definitely hurt. Like, he's not healthy. And he continually is leaving games, coming back in, leaving again. There's been a lot of talk around here about shutting him down for a little while because he's not right and he's not healthy. And he's not been – I mean, don't get me wrong. As a tight end, he's been great. Just because of how bad the tight end position has been. But he's not been the dominant Travis Kelce that we're used to. Not exactly he's going to be like this all year, no. But they also don't have a bye for a really long time. Like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what the Chiefs do here with him because he's, like I said, he's not healthy.
They should rest him for a little bit because I have a team that I could really use Noah Gray as a starting option. It is it's gross over there. Uzi wants to know 49ers or the Steelers D this week, leaning 49ers.
I made this very same decision. I want Steelers.
Yeah. I have Steelers at defense 5 and 49ers at 6. I'm going to lean Steelers.
Fantasy Gurus pod traded Mixon and Jefferson for McCaffrey and Cooks. Thoughts?
It's ballsy. As long as CMC actually comes back, I can stay healthy. I don't mind it. But
I think
if he doesn't, you just gave away your season.
Yeah, I like the Mixon side there.
Because like I said, I mean, just a lot like last year, like wouldn't shock me if they continue to lose football games and they end up kind of being out of it. Like, do they have any reason to rush him back or bring him back? Probably not.
I know we've done this bit a couple times where we're like, oh, it's the same story. We've seen this movie before. I don't want to assume that the same thing's happening, right?
Oh,
Like,
no, not
we
at
haven't
all.
heard, and
Yeah.
we didn't hear it last year. So I guess my one pushback on that would be if McCaffrey comes back after one more week and he's the McCaffrey we remember where he's scoring 25 PPR points a game, that's a win. You are upgrading massively from Mixon. I get you're downgrading from Jefferson to Cooks, but I think it is a win. But you're right. It is the riskier side, but it could pay off.
Oh, it's a home run. If it's
Yes.
a home run, if he comes back and plays, yes.
Brennan Gold, my RBs are Collins, Williams, and Clyde. Do I trade Josh Allen for Stafford and CPAT, given that running back room?
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Yep.
I don't think it's that big of a drop-off from
No.
Allen to Staff.
And then you get a guy who's been a top 10-ish running back, right? Like, yeah.
Tua is the left arm.
I don't know if it's a joke. You should be really excited to get Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And so, I mean, yeah, if he can navigate through all the bullshit that he's got himself into, getting Deshaun Watson, a 26-year-old quarterback, a franchise quarterback, I don't think Tua's ever going to be that. I think Tua can still be fine. It is still a very short sample size. I think he's only played in 8 games, so it's not really fair to judge him on the totality of everything. But I don't think he's going to match anything that Deshaun Watson's been able to do in his career. So,
if Gabriel can't get that trade to go through, the Henderson and Kelsey trade, flex and wide receiver here out of Mike Williams, Henderson, and DJ Moore.
Man, would you try and sell high on DJ Moore and try and get a trade like that for Kelsey? Because DJ Moore with Darnold struggling has not been anywhere close to what he was at the beginning of the year. Which I guess it means you probably can't sell high, right? But I think that name cachet still rings as a top 12-ish, 14-ish wide receiver.
Yeah,
Not the question, but yeah.
Yeah. So wide receiver out of Mike Williams and DJ Moore. Who do we like?
I'm going to go Henderson here.
So Henderson at the flex. What about the wide receiver? Mike Will or DJ Moore?
Williams. Mike Williams.
I'm going DJ Moore.
I'm going to do DJ Moore as well. Or Kev, are you going to put Henderson or Mike Will at the flex?
I'm going to go Henderson.
Julio, Judy, Saquon if he's healthy for Alfredo. This is in the flex in a full PPR.
I mean, you're going to go Saquon, but I don't think Saquon's playing this week.
I'm glad you said that. The hey, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon's going to play this
psychology.
week. I like this, Kev. This is going to get him back healthy. This is good.
I will say it is encouraging. He was actually at practice today, working on the side, but he was actually at practice today, so that is a little bit encouraging. But I don't think they plays. I mean, they do have an extra day to get him ready and everything else if they wanted to play him, and this would be a great matchup, obviously, against Kansas City. But I think it's probably more likely he plays next week against the Raiders.
I would go Judy over Julio. Take away the hater status. Take it away.
Welcome. Abraham is kind of in a pickle. Kyler, Najee, Aaron Jones, DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Logan Thomas. I don't know who to. Is Logan Thomas back this week?
I have not heard this. I don't think so.
I am not aware. Don't know who to flex. So while Kevin's looking up the Logan Thomas information, Jalen Waddle, like I said, he is not on the injury report. But Robbie, like you said, you do not love the matchup. Cobb or Myers?
I'm going to go Cobb over Waddle. Again, kind of going back to what I said earlier. I think Cobb just has enough rapport with Aaron Rodgers where I can see him getting a really steady floor. And then he's going to have a good shot at a touchdown with how I think they're going to have to be in this game with the Cardinals, right? Like the Cardinals are going to score at will. So if the Packers want to score with them, Aaron Jones is going to have a good game. Who out of the wide receivers are going to have a good game? Maybe a couple deep shots to Marquez Valdez Scantling, but Cobb is going to be the main thorough put through the passing game, I think.
Rod Rivera said on Logan Thomas that he's getting closer to returning. It's more of a week-to-week thing, but he wants to see how he is this week, is what he said. So,
doesn't sound promising.
Yeah.
So you might let us know if we can help you out with your tight end sitch there, Abraham. Josh Chan for wide receivers have DJ Moore, Debo, Deontay, Ridley, AJ Brown, and Terry McLaurin. Whew. Start 3, boys. Who do we got?
Debo, AJ Brown, and Deontay. I have Deontay at wide receiver 4 this week, so
You have Deontay
at wide receiver 4, yeah.
AJ Brown for show. For show,
Yes.
for show.
Debo and Terry McLaurin are my next 2.
DJ Moore.
We're going to be so helpful.
Well, we all agree on AJ Brown.
Yep.
Do we all agree on Deontay?
I've got Debo and then Terry McLaurin, so I would be sitting Deontay.
I will go Deontay, so we have 2 of the 3. And then I'm going to go DJ Moore for my last one. So AJ Brown, Deontay are 2 of the 3. Can we come to a consensus here for the third one? Or at least a 2 out of 3 to help out Josh?
And who would it be between?
It sounds like DJ Moore or Debo, correct?
Yeah, is there a reason you guys are going Deontay over Debo? Like, Deontay is getting the target share, but so is Debo, and he's also getting just the yardage, right? The yardage for Deontay, I feel like, has been good, but like not Debo-esque, right? Like, I feel like Debo is just a souped up version of Deontay right now.
I think the matchup with, assuming the top corner for each team will be on Debo or Deontay, I think it favors Deontay over Debo. I think Jalen has been playing very well in his second year.
Except for last week, but yeah.
Also
I agree.
talking about
I agree.
Tom Brady and
I get you.
I mean, I said to play Debo, so I mean, it's not really a discussion for me, but
okay. There's our third guy. Deontay, Debo, and AJ Brown.
Chuba or Eli. This is going to be Eli. Got offers for Cook and Pittman for Debo and Mixon. Full PPR. What do I do? So Cook and Pittman or Debo and Mixon. Which side do you guys like?
I'm sticking with Dalvin Cook and Michael Pittman.
Going Cook and Pittman as well.
Okay.
DJ coming through once again. Appreciate the support from all of you. DJ, thank you so much. In flex full PPR, one flex I have Beasley, Josh Allen QB. Other flex Randall Cobb, Slayton, Shepard if healthy, going up against the Green Bay Slayers with Rodgers, Tonyan, and Dilly.
He's saying his opponent has Aaron Rodgers, Tonyan, and AJ Dillon.
Correct.
Yep. I'm gonna go Shepard there if he plays. I don't want to have my opponent's points getting points every time Randall Cobb scores. I'm going to go Shepard there. They're close enough where I'd go Shepard.
What if Shepard's ruled out?
I'd probably go Cobb there.
We don't have that luxury of making a decision.
Yeah. If Shepard's ruled out, then you probably just pivot to Slayton. Don't love it as much, but I'm going to go Shepard and just try to avoid giving my opponent points when I get points. Do you guys have Shepard above Cobb anyways? Let's say he plays. Ooh, I hear crickets. I was like, Cody's frozen. I was like, is this me again? Is this my internet? Had to ask the question because you guys have known my internet, but we're plugged in. We're good to go. It was not my internet. It was Cody's. Kev Steele, do you have, let's say Shepard goes. I have Cobb at 32. I have Shepard at 29, assuming he goes against Kansas City, right? The Kansas City defense, right? Well, this is a defense we want to attack. Daniel Jones hoping to get some of his weapons back. I think I'd go Shepard if he's healthy over Randall Cobb.
Yeah, I probably would too. He probably just sees enough targets to be able to make that work. So, yeah, I probably would still go Shepard. Then you're still fine if it doesn't work out. You could always switch to Slayton, which I think Slayton would be in play too in this matchup. Again, they're going to be trailing. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. And so, especially with the likelihood of Kenny Golladay being out again, he's going to be involved as well. So, yeah, I would probably end up going Shepard there.
Kev, you turned me on to Sterling Shepard, and he's done nothing for me since. He's been injured, trade for him in the league, and so I'm hoping he gets back on track. Maybe it's just me willing him into these lineups here. Got a question here. One running back and a flex. Let's do the running back first. Connor or Collins, and then we also have D'Ernest as a flex if you need it. So probably just Connor or Collins. Who you going there?
I'm going to go with Alex Collins.
I agree. And then for the flex, you can keep Connor as an option there. Mike Williams, probably Mike Williams, right? Or Cooks. You go Mike Williams.
Nick Chubb's playing. He returned to practice Monday. So, unless he has some sort of setback that I haven't seen, which I haven't. So
yeah, maybe he's just asking if D'Ernest is good enough to flex. And we think Chubb is going to play, so you're probably not flexing D'Ernest here. Would you go Mike Williams as the flex then?
Oh, yeah, it's Mike Williams. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That was, I think, telling us what the rest of his team looked like.
Okay. If we got the question again, go back to the... So this is Chubb. You're okay at wide receiver, D-Hop and Terry.
So should I trade Chubb for Eli, AB, and Jacoby?
I think I want the Chubb side for Uzi.
And now why are we... also, let's drop Kirk Cousins. Why are we holding Kirk Cousins when we have Pat Mahomes?
I don't know if you saw last week with Pat Mahomes.
Sucks now.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, Kev, but he's throwing interceptions every week. Chiefs are done. They're not going to make the playoffs. It's over.
Remember how confident Kev was a couple weeks ago that the Chiefs were going to win the division?
Oh,
who said that my confidence has changed?
Double down. Double down, Kev.
I'm not worried at all. And the haters are going to end up sucking it by the end of the year. It's going to be such a great story. I have so many receipts.
So easy to get you off the rails.
I have so many receipts right now of people of all the slander, and I'm just going to share it all in just a drop of cold takes.
He and Tom, all you have to do is mention their team, and then it's just.
We're keeping Chubb.
Let's keep Chubb here.
Keep it chubby. Controversial. Speaking of controversial, should I drop Allen Robinson for Tony or Beasley in PPR?
Man,
there's only one correct answer here,
and it's not just a no.
It is a definite no.
Yeah,
I was setting you up, Kev. Thought you were going to drop the fuck no.
Yeah, it's not, and I've seen a lot of people talking about that this week. Like, oh yeah, you could definitely drop Allen Robinson. No, you can't, unless you're in like a 10-team league. right? Where like there's like the waiver is plentiful with a lot of options. Like in any 12-team league, like there's usually nobody sitting out there. So you're not dropping Allen Robinson. I can tell you in any league, if you drop him, he's immediately picked up.
I definitely think he's a lot more droppable than you guys are letting on. Like,
but there's nobody else out there. Who are you dropping him for? I mean, in most leagues, I mean, there's not anybody else out there. I mean, it's a lot of just guys that we're turning through rosters, unless an injury, some huge.
I think you're fine taking a shot on Kadarius Toney over Allen Robinson. I think that's fine. What's Allen Robinson going to do for you?
Do you really think this is what Allen Robinson's going to do? You really believe that he is just going to have some historically bad season the entire year?
We've been saying
almost
it since
always.
week 4,
this turns around.
Week 5,
99.9% of the time,
6,
it gets turned around.
Week 7.
At the very least, we hold on to Allen Robinson until next week to see if he gets traded, because there's a damn likelihood that he gets traded. And I would feel like a real dummy if he got traded. If he gets traded, he's getting traded to a contender.
Dummy.
And so
like Kansas City.
I would hate but I would hate my I mean maybe, but I would hate my life if I dropped Allen Robinson and now he goes to one of the top passing offenses and he's at a great spot and you just dropped him for somebody.
He's with the best quarterback he's ever had.
At this point, any team he gets traded to is going to be the best quarterback he's ever had.
I think you can drop him for Toney. I get why you guys are hesitant. I've finally jumped off.
And you watch this week, he's going to go out for 8 for 120 and 2. And
I've been wrong before.
I fucking told you.
I mean, we don't know what Toney's role is going to be if that Giants receiving group can ever be healthy all at the same time.
Do you think it'll ever be healthy at the same time, right? That's the question.
I don't know, but I will bet on Allen Robinson's track record over Toney's 2 games of production. Anyway, Noel, T. Higgins or Terry McLaurin, you want to talk about being bitten? Noel does not love McLaurin's matchup, but the last time they benched him, put up 27. T or
defense
Terry?
Isn't nearly as scary. I mean, they're scary when they're playing the Jets, okay? But like when you're playing, this secondary is not nearly as anything that I'm all that concerned with. And so, you're playing scary Terry.
Yeah, I don't think most weeks you are benching him. He's been a player that's kind of up and down this year, but I think you just got to roll with it for Terry because his upside is very high each week.
Okay, Alfredo wants to know where we could improve the team. Full PPR, Lamar, Lenny, Najee, Saquon. Do I have to keep reading? Julio, Hollywood, CD, AB, Judy, Goddard, Knox. Drop one of the defenses. Do that right now.
Drop the Saints.
I don't even care who. I mean, I guess here.
I think he needs wide receivers. Yeah, he needs wide receiver help. I think.
Yeah. So who are you trying to?
I think he does.
I don't think you do. I mean, Hollywood's been great. And then CeeDee Lamb's excellent. Antonio Brown, when healthy, has been rock solid. And I think when Jerry Jeudy comes back, I think he's fine too. I don't think you really need anything here.
Yeah,
I think you want to go out but you're not like. So Hollywood had a down week, so you're probably not going to be able to get proper value for Hollywood. If you would have traded him the week before when he went off, I think then that would have been fine. But now that he's having a little bit of a down week, you're just not going to get the same. Julio, you're not getting jack shit for. So then, are you trading CeeDee Lamb? You're not trading one of the running backs, and so like who are we trading to make this happen? I mean, if you're wanting to get like an upper echelon wide receiver, you're going to have to trade a lot. And so I just don't think you make any move, and I think you're fine with the team that you got. I think this is a pretty solid team. You're going to get a lot of consistency out of guys like Julio, or not Julio, but Hollywood. And even Julio hasn't been terrible. I mean, he's done Julio-type things this year.
He's been bad. Julio's been
his yards per out run is right on pace with what he is every single year.
He's running 6 routes a game.
Yeah, he's been an absolute bust.
Well, he's been hurt. Yeah, sure. And he also plays for a team that wants to run the ball. But
yep, that's why he's a bust.
Kev, so you talked about in the wide receiver show Deontay Johnson being one of your targets. Would you consider sending somebody like Leonard Fournette for a Deontay? Is that something you would do, or you just want to keep rocking with those 3 running backs?
Yeah, I don't want to get rid of, especially with I mean Saquon. I mean,
can't get rid of a running back here, I don't think.
Yeah, you need to hold on to the running back. So that's why I said I wouldn't make any move. I would be happy with what you got.
Standard pick 3 for controversial. Tyreek, Jamar, Ridley, McLaurin, Cooks.
Jamar.
Tyreek.
And I'm going to go Calvin Ridley.
First 3 for me as well. Alex Collins or either one. Are you guys going Collins over Javonte or Jamal?
I'm going to go Alex Collins.
Yep.
Tam, unless we hear something about Dak, not being 100%, or they're going to change their game plan or their offense, I am completely fine going with Dak. Like I said, unless we hear something different. I know you rock with us on Sundays as well, so join us on Sunday if anything changes, and we'll help you out there. Robbie, our defensive ranker, Eagles or Bears?
You're starting to get in kind of that midline pack where most of these teams are probably going to finish 3 to 6 points. I'll have the Bears a little bit higher against San Francisco than the Eagles against Detroit. It looks like Detroit's the easier matchup, but honestly, they do put up points. And I think you talked about it when Tom was on. I don't really know how much this game is in the favor of the Eagles. I think this will be a pretty close back and forth game.
Yo. See if the Bengals are available. We need 2 here for control. Higgins, DJ Moore, Davis, Tony. It's going to be the first 2 for me. Herbie or Hurts?
Herbert.
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts for me as well. Another trade here for Uzi. Mahomes for Ridley or Deontay instead of the Chubb trade. I have Cousins and Tua. Would you send away?
Can we go back real quick to the Herbert versus Hurts? Kev, what's your reasoning for going Herbert over Hurts? I feel like Herbert's been super hot or cold. Right, he has 4 of his 6 games, 21 points or under, and we just have a solid 20 points from Jalen Hurts every single week. I feel like you're just super risky, right? You've had 2 fantastic games from Herbert, quarterback 1 week, quarterback 2 another week. Then you've had 3 dud weeks and then one week with 21 points. I feel like it's just a much riskier play for going Herbert. And you're going against New England, who's solid against the pass.
I mean, I'm not really worried about New England. And they're, I mean, this Chargers offense. I mean, so he had the first 2 weeks where he wasn't great, but he is thrown for 300 yards in almost 4 of the 6 weeks, and so he had those 2 weeks, and then we obviously know the Baltimore game, which was just horrendous. But other than that, I mean, you're talking about 30, 21.3, and 42.8. Jalen Hurts hasn't come anywhere close to that. Jalen Hurts has been consistent, right? He's given you 20, right? But the ceiling is so much higher for for Justin Herbert right now. And I love Jalen Hurts. I think people that drafted him late did a great job, and he has come through. But he is much more on the lower end of the ceiling for me. And so it is a good matchup against Detroit, obviously. But I'm not really all that concerned with New England's defense, to be honest with you. This offense has more than enough weapons to get this thing going. They're coming off the bye, so they've had time to prepare for this defense for a couple of weeks now. And I think they get back on track. And like I said, I just think Justin Herbert has such a high ceiling, much a higher ceiling than what Jalen Hurts provides. And I like both the quarterbacks, but I'm sticking with Justin Herbert. And I'll be honest. There's been a little bit of rumblings about the possibility of benching Jalen Hurts. And if he comes out and struggles again in the first half of this game, do not put it past this team to bench Jalen Hurts. It would be absolutely ridiculous if they did it, but I don't know, because I mean he has struggled. I mean he hasn't been great. He hasn't been a great quarterback. He's been good for fantasy for sure, but in terms of like overall play on the field, hasn't been great either. I'm not saying they're going to bench him, but I think it would be ridiculous and absolutely stupid to do it. I think they should fire the head coach before they ever did that. But I just think, like I said, Herbert has such a high ceiling that that Hurts, I think, has a much lower probability of hitting.
Mahomes for Ridley or Deontay instead of the Chubb trade?
No, I'm going to keep Ridley and Deontay and roll with probably Cousins most weeks.
I'm going to excuse myself from this question because I am biased on both sides. Should I trade Michael Carter for Claypool? Already have Mixon, Swift, and Javonte.
Yeah, upgrade to Chase Claypool. Yes.
Would you start Patterson or Michael Carter this week?
Man, have you guys been waxing some poetic on Michael Carter like this? We're getting Michael Carter bumped up. It's nice to see, but this is not a question. This is Patterson.
This is Michael Carter.
Oh my gosh, I figured there had to be something. This is not Michael Carter, but
this is Michael Carter. So right now, Ty Johnson and Tevin Coleman may be out this week. It may just be absolutely Michael Carter's backfield. They're going to be trailing. He is the pass catching back, and I know that Cordell Patterson sees pass catching volume as well. But this isn't a great matchup. Carolina's defense is really good, and so that's not changing. And so I know that the Bengals defense has been good, but Michael Carter can see 15 targets in this game. So I actually have bumped Michael Carter up, and I have him as a borderline top 15 running back.
15 targets? Stop! What are you saying?
That's not insane at all. They have nobody else. Who else they throwing the ball to?
Stop it. 15
it's Michael
targets.
Carter. It's Michael Carter.
If either guy is getting 15 targets, it's Cordell Patterson. Okay.
It's Michael Carter.
Michael Carter is what Cordell Patterson is on a much worse offense with Mike White as the quarterback. Like this is not going to go well. You talked about the defense. Cincinnati's defense was playing well. Like I don't know why this would be a defense you want to attack like this. Cody, I know you love this. I know this is music to your ears. Don't do this. Triple trade. Don't do this. This is Patterson. Bad idea.
It's Michael Carter.
Better break the tie. Break the tie.
Don't fail me now. It's Michael Carter. It's easy. Stop. It's Michael Carter.
You do this, Kev. You do this. Sam Darnold over Dak. Don't get this cute.
We're talking about Cordell fucking Patterson here. We're not talking about an elite level player.
You were talking about the only reason Michael Carter is interesting is because he can catch 6 or 7 passes out of the backfield. You know who's done that 4 of 6 weeks? Cordell Patterson. You know who's just got the work instead of Mike Davis? Cordell Patterson. Like, I don't think Cordell Patterson is going to be a top 10 running back, but man, he's getting the work that you want to see. You hope to see Michael Carter get. We are hoping.
He just got 9 targets last week.
That's fantastic. I'm guessing that's probably what Cordell Patterson got too. Like, welcome to the show. You just joined where this other guy has been for 6 weeks. Like, welcome to the show.
He has a backup quarterback who is going to check down to Michael Carter all
Matt Ryan
day
checking down all day. You
over,
heard of Calvin Ridley
and over and over again. It's Michael Carter. It's Michael Carter. Cody.
Hey.
If
write this on the board,
Walito, anymore, if you don't go Mike Carter, this is the ultimate Michael Carter spot.
Walito, write this one on the board for Kevin I.
CPAT and Matt Ryan.
Boom.
Oh,
sit down, Kevin Steele.
This is Michael
the
Carter,
Godfather, Godson.
Robbie, break the quarterback tie. Matt Ryan or Sam Darnold?
Matt Ryan. I don't know. Like Kev was talking about how Sam Darnold was going to be a top 6 quarterback going forward. Okay. And we tried to warn him. He's not going to be that. Yeah, no, you're starting Matt Ryan.
Anthony Ort, would you change anything on this team? Half PPR, Burrow, AJ Brown, CPAT, Mixon, Najee, Kelsey, Herbert on the bench, Rodgers, Darrell Williams, or Barkley if he plays? Are you putting in Darrell Williams over CPAT?
No. I mean, if Barkley plays, I'm going to try and work in Barkley over Herbert, but that's it.
So yeah, I guess Williams over Herbert would be the other one.
I believe Kev's doing that. Kev is playing Herbert over D. Williams.
Absolutely.
Yes, we're not changing anything then. Herbert or Hurts, we already talked about this one. Ricky Seals-Jones or Tonyan.
Man, Seals-Jones is just like a safe 5 catches, 51 yards. Tonyan, without these other two guys, does he find the end zone? It's a higher upside shot with Tonyan. I might go with Tonyan here just for the chance of a TD.
Going Tonyan as well. So this is where Abraham said he was starting Logan Thomas. Would you rather go with Tonyan? But if he goes Tonyan, would have Cobb, Aaron Jones, and Tonyan all in the same lineup.
I think RSJ is safe enough where you still have a potential for a touchdown there. And I think he's been very safe with his workload where you can go RSJ and then you can fade the triple stack there. I don't know if I'm going that heavy with the Packers. I like Aaron Jones. Obviously, we're starting him. Cobb and Tonyan, I don't know if they both work out. I'm going to go RSJ over Tonyan, knowing the rest of this.
I do the same as well. Is the Bengals defense a good play? I really like them as a streamer this week. You can check out the show if you'd like some more thoughts as to why. But yes, I do like the Bengals defense. My Lord, Ashton needs 2 here: Higgins, Landry, Parker, Manny, Sanders. Kev, who do you like here out of this group? T, Landry, DP, MS.
Higgins and Sanders.
Trouble joining us. We need a flex here. Amari, Manny, Shepard, or Moss. There's going to be Amari for us across the board. Zach Mueller, Gibson and Mike Will for Henry is the trade I'm trying to do.
Someone's going to trade Henry? Wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to banged up, questionable Gibson is going to get it done, even with as well as Mike Will has been playing. I think you might have to up that a little bit if you are going to try to do that. Landry, Judy, or Claypool to replace Adams.
Claypool for me.
Kev?
Agreed.
It's almost like Kev didn't want to. The dribble god. Should I trade CMC away? 5-1 full PPR league. Running backs: Najee, Chuba, Devontae, Chase, Mike Will, AJB, Tony, Marvin Jones.
No,
not at 5-2. No, hold on. I don't think there's really any reason to do that. That's a move you make if you're 2-5. Would you trade Hill and Fournette for Zeke and Amari for Kevion? Do you want to double down on that Cowboys offense?
Yes, duh. But versus Hill and Fournette, that gets pretty close. Give me the Zeke and Amari side, but it is extremely close with how well Fournette's been playing.
Kev?
Well, I mean, it's a shame they're not playing the best running back on the team more than what they are. But
Keyshawn Vaughn? Is that a Keyshawn Vaughn shout out?
Hill and Fournette.
Oh, you were talking about Tony Pollard. I missed that. I thought you were talking about Keyshawn Vaughn on the other side.
We got Hill and Fournette as well. Pizza. Sutton or Manny Sanders?
Sutton.
Walito has a question. 1 wide receiver and 2 flex. Lindsey, P. Ryan, Crowder, Patrick, Amon-Ra, RSJ. Well, not Patrick, because wide receiver 1 is back for Denver.
With bye weeks.
Yeah, this
Walito,
is
it's the Raiders
last week.
What running back are you considering from Baltimore? Or I mean, Josh Jacobs.
This is just a terrible team.
Yeah.
Don't blame bye
Well,
weeks
yeah.
on this.
This is probably in the listener league where he's 5-2 over you guys.
I haven't set a lineup in a while. Okay?
Yeah, well, this is coming from Kev Steele, who won the listener league so bad. That's on you, bud.
I wanted it for the
Okay,
people.
one wide receiver, Crowder Patrick, ARSB.
Mom's not letting us fight at all, keeping us on track.
No, I've been sitting here trying to put clothes on you fucking kids for a half hour. We already missed the bus.
RSJ and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Kev?
Fucking roll a dice. I don't fucking know. Flip a coin. Like this is terrible.
Oh, we need 3. My lord. We need 3 of these. We need
Adding
one wide
Crowder.
receiver.
Adding Crowder. Call
yeah, I
it a
guess
day.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, Crowder, and RSJ.
I hope it's PPR.
Thomas wants to know, could I pull off a Sutton Pittman for Ridley, DK Jefferson kind of player? Or is that shooting too high? I want Allen for Herbert stack, but the owner has Judy. I don't know if you want both Broncos.
So this
I
is
think you can do it
Thomas.
for any of them.
Yep. We were telling him, hey, try and upgrade to a wide receiver 1. I would rank it Jefferson, Ridley, then DK. But yeah, I think you're in the right range where if that guy needs a couple wide receivers, he could drop down to a Sutton Pittman. That would be a good trade for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, having Judy, maybe something that they don't want to do, but obviously doesn't hurt to send it. And I don't think that's one of those offers that like they're going to scoff at, whenever they get. Is there ever going to get traded? I hope. We can only sit here, cross our fingers, and hope. Zach, I mean, we need to free.
I don't think so, man, because with Nagy's position, right? Like he can't lose more games, right? Would he trade away his wide receiver 1? Like, could you see that happening?
What, Darnell Mooney? Sure.
That's how it's been.
Jeez Louise. This it has to be one of your friends, Robbie. This is definitely
Shucky darn.
Brady Fournette, Hendy, AJ Brown, Chase, Ridley, Gronk, benches Lockett, Woods, Gesicki, Waller. 2 and 5 in a 6-team full PPR advice. In a 6-team, I am dropping.
Which one? Gronk, probably.
I'm going to drop Gronk at this point.
You're playing Gesicki, and then when Waller and Gesicki are kind of back to normal, probably doing Waller most weeks. But yeah, you have
drop Gesicki once Waller is back, just because with that team in a 6-team, there's going to be something better than a couple tight ends.
Yep.
So I'm probably dropping Gronk, picking up somebody else.
You just got to play the waiver wire for the running backs. And
I'm going to drop Lockett too in a 6-team league.
Oh, absolutely. Lockett should be long gone. But I think your problem looking at this roster is probably just your running backs, right? Like Fournette's been good. Henderson's been good. But we're talking about 6 teams. They're probably on the lower totem pole. Keep trying to churn running backs on your team. Get rid of these backup tight ends.
Yeah. Or if maybe, selling high on an AJ Brown. Still having Chase and Ridley. Again, there's going to be, with as deep as wide receiver is, you can pick up a Woods-ish type player to, plug into your wide receiver 3 spot. Judy back, do you see Teddy B as a starter option over Tannehill?
I think you guys were mentioning this. Maybe it was an older pod, but like we think Teddy's probably an upgrade, but like Teddy has still never been he's been a serviceable streamer every now and then, but I think Tannehill is still most weeks going to be over Teddy B. And I think we're starting to see Tannehill start to take off. This last week, he had a good week, rushing one in, throwing for one. I think we see more weeks where Tannehill has 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, instead of the first part of the season where we only saw him have, 1 touchdown most weeks. So I'm going to go Tannehill over Teddy B most weeks.
Yeah. In this matchup too, I like this matchup for not that it's a bad matchup for Teddy B, but I like it better in Tanny's favor. We need one wide receiver and a flex here for Chip. Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson. So let's start with the wide receivers. Who do we like there?
I'm not nearly as high on Deontay as Kev.
Neither am I, but I would still go DJ.
You're going to go Deontay. I'm going to go Terry McLaurin and Mike Williams as my two here.
I'm going to go DJ and Mike.
Kev, you're also DJ and who else here?
And McLaurin.
I'm fine with McLaurin as well. I could easily be pushed off of Mike Will for McLaurin. DeAndre Swift season. Walito, appreciate the extra views with your burner here. Just sent Debo and Hunt for Barkley.
Yeah, I like it. I really, really like that trade.
Adams, AJB, Thielen, and still remaining a wide receiver.
You needed it at running back too. Yep, that's great.
I like it. Lacey has Mark Andrews, obviously out this. Yes, out this week. Hunter Henry or Bobby Tanyan. Now, go ahead, answer. I want to look and see if Johnny practiced.
He had limited practice, so he left with whatever he left with.
Shoulder injury.
He did practice. I get it. Tanyan has not been anything but in this type of scenario where we have Adams out, who is garnering 25-ish% of the target share. I think Tanyan has to be a little bit more likable and startable in this situation. Hunter Henry, outside of, he's been fantastic with touchdowns. His receiving and yardage has not been there. So if they're kind of close on the receiving and yardage, give me Tanyan with a much better opportunity to score a touchdown.
Yeah, I like Tanyan there as well. James wants to know, can I drop Felton? Yes, you can. Now with Chubb back and Dr. J in the house. I think this one's for you, Kev. Michael Carter or Derrick Henry?
Well, I mean, if you look at the pass catching upside, it's Derrick Henry. And I know
but it's close. But it's close.
But hey, it's Michael Carter season, boys.
Hey, we were on Michael Carter for you, Mr. Ty Johnson. So welcome to the club.
You gotta be fluid. You gotta be fluid. Okay. So and it's Michael Carter season. So
I'm about it. Kev Steele.
Devonta Smith or Michael Carter in the flex? This is Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
I think I boiled that question down, correct? The questions at the end?
Yep.
Michael Carter in the flex.
Joe, just start a prayer circle. You know what I mean? Put something into your local church. Thoughts and prayers, good vibes. But for right now, you are a sinning son of a bitch.
It is good news because I think they said that they expect Kittle back next week. And now what the talk
week
was.
9.
So he should be back.
So
hopefully CMC's back soon.
What's the other one? Eat, pray, love. What's the other sign that's probably in Robbie's house that he didn't
Let me look around.
Probably have faith or something like that.
Yeah.
Eat, pray, and drink. I don't know. Brian, just with a rough season here with a solid squad. 0-6, full PPR. Harris and Godwin for Allen and Patterson.
Keenan Allen, Cordero Patterson, I'm going to guess, and I would say no on that.
Was that Najee Harris?
Yes, he has Najee.
Harris.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And we've talked to Brian, and Cody, I know you have as well. Brian's league overweights quarterback scoring immensely. It is.
I don't understand. I don't understand what his scoring is.
And his problem is he's struggled because he had Wilson get hurt, and so he's rolling out Sam Darnold and some other guys. That's why he is struggling. We got to try and find a trade to improve the quarterback. The rest of your team is good, Brian. Don't mess with your running backs. Don't mess with your wide receivers. We got to fix the quarterback.
It's been shitty luck as well.
Yep.
So it's a solid squad, but slow starts and injuries and everything else have really put a damper on that. Alejandro, I'm going to answer this so Kev can't jump in. It's still David Montgomery, but I am not expecting a full David Montgomery work share whenever Herbert comes back.
It is.
You can't do that to people because they're going to think you're serious.
Oh, I am. I don't know what you think.
Kev looked at Player Profiler. He saw the better athleticism and ignored everything else.
This much, like his 40 times like point.
David Montgomery's probably going to be gone after next year. I mean, this is Khalil Herbert in the season now.
You got it.
Well, now all of a sudden Kev's talking about dynasty. What Jesus?
You got
Alejandro is still David Montgomery, but do not expect the full David Montgomery workload. Got a trade offer. I'd be giving up Ridley and Chuba for Aaron Jones. Kamara, Fournette, Devontae Adams, Diggs, flexes Darrell Williams, and Shepard right now for Luke.
Yeah. I'm about it.
Kev?
Yeah.
Basically Ridley for Aaron Jones?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, Cousins, Tanny, Wentz, Matt Ryan for Alejandro.
Wentz.
I like Wentz a lot this week. I have him right behind Tannehill.
Or excuse me, I'll go Cousins. Sorry, I'll go Cousins.
Yeah, it's Cousins.
Sorry, I missed Cousins. Yeah, this is
okay.
Cousins. Yeah,
all right.
We all overlook Cousins there.
I didn't because I was going to say Cousins, and I thought I was going to be the only one there. But Gesicki or Ertz for Alejandro.
Gesicki.
Oh Lord, what?
Oh, geez, Louise.
That is a wild twist to that.
What happens when people get injured?
How I'm confused and intrigued and lost all at the same time.
What happens if Brady gets hurt for his team? He just doesn't roll with the quarterback the rest of the year?
So it's like best ball, but without the it changes your roster and everything.
Dear God, man.
That is crazy. Wide receiver league winner. Who? I guess maybe if we want to talk about someone who we could potentially get at this point. Kev, I know you Deontay Johnson. Is that going to be your answer?
Yeah, but I don't think that's really. I mean, I don't think there is such thing as a wide receiver league winner.
I mean, Jamar Chase, but
so let's put it in the context of someone you could acquire now that could outperform what you pay for them. You know what I mean? Like someone like that who could really give a boost to your team.
Let's see if we can get $5. If Brandon Cooks gets traded to a team, Brandon Cooks can absolutely be a league winner for your team. If he just improves the quarterback position, fantastic player. Let's get him in your starting lineups as a wide receiver one.
If Brandon Cooks could get traded to Detroit and DeAndre Swift is now the quarterback, I mean, watch out. Watch out. Kev, I like Kev's call with Deontay Johnson and, me being the Steelers homer hater. I do like that call. I think Calvin Ridley at some point is going to break out of this funk. And, maybe he doesn't put up the wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 numbers that, a lot of us ranked him as going into the year. But I still think, rest of season, we could be looking at Calvin Ridley as a top 10-ish, top 8 kind of receiver. And I don't think you have to pay those kind of prices right now.
Yeah. I throw out Keenan Allen as well. He's not scored, and he's being outshadowed by Mike Williams. If that flips at all, I think Keenan Allen is going to skyrocket up.
So I when you ask the question, I think of guys that are readily available, right? Like, because like same thing when you say like a league winner, like a running back, right? Somebody you probably are able to pick up off waivers, and the guy ends up, for somebody that gets hurt, let's say Zeke goes down, all of a sudden, okay, now Tony Pollard's a league winner, right? Because it changes the entire complexion of your team, not something that you're having to trade for and give up. And so, like, for me, if you're talking about a wide receiver, guys that could fit that mold that are widely available, I think like Terrace Marshall could possibly be that guy, especially if they were to be able to trade for Deshaun Watson, which I don't think that's going to happen. But if with CMC back, if this offense can go back to looking like the offense it did when CMC was playing, I think somebody like Terrace Marshall could possibly be that guy, down the stretch if he gets more involved.
A lot of good wide receiver threes on good offenses. Michael Gallup, 1 injury away. Van Jefferson, 1 injury away. One of those Cardinals wide receivers, 1 injury away. Those are some names that I would target.
Walito coming through as Walito always does. He just heard Brandon Cook's league winner, and he didn't have to hear.
He's half listening. He's watching like different Canadian TV show.
He's just watching DeAndre Swift and Brandon Cooks highlights.
Can we get Cooks to the Saints?
Oh God, his head would explode. His head would explode.
Another reunion. Get him back to the Saints. You guys cast Brandon Cooks off, Walito. Maybe this is where all this love is coming from. He's just a player that Walito has yearned for a while. All right, so bench here: A-Rob, Pollard, McKissick, Collins, Ayuk on waivers. These are the best names available. There's no names that are jumping out to me on waivers. What about for you guys? I mean, obviously, I think Ayuk is droppable. Picking up Callaway over Ayuk.
Yeah.
No, I would drop Tim Patrick for.
Oh, I missed Tim Patrick.
I missed Tim Patrick as well. I think you can drop Patrick and Ayuk.
I probably would hold on to Ayuk and just hope that it turns around. And I would drop Tim Patrick and go with I would say if it's PPR, I would say either Landry or Callaway.
Yeah. Not making any changes to that starting lineup. Putting in Pollard or McKissick over Michael Carter or Collins.
I think McKissick if it's PPR for sure.
Michael Carter over McKissick.
Yeah.
I think you probably do a cool ranch here, Zach. I think that would get it done for Gibson. Said haha, but for real. So this to me reminds me of the kid who's getting interviewed on the street and he smiles and then just starts breaking down. That's what Zach is doing here. Does Gibson carry any trade value?
No.
Not right now.
I think you would have to sell too low. I don't think you're going to make a slightly lateral move and a half step down. I think you're going to have to go a step or two down to get anything done. And at that point, probably not worth the upside you could be potentially losing. Zach, yes, you can definitely pick up David Johnson. Full PPR leagues is what I'd be looking to add him in. Is Brandon, I think we answered this an hour and a half ago. Landry would be the one that you could drop, but again, always depends on who you are dropping them for. Hill for McCaffrey, too rich.
No. There is nobody that's too rich, for CMC. Let me put it this way. If CMC came back and he was healthy, ready to go this week, I would trade Derrick Henry for Christian McCaffrey. There is nobody in the league that is Christian McCaffrey when he's healthy. Christian McCaffrey is the best running back, the best fantasy value in the league whenever he is healthy. It's just been that part, that qualifier of when healthy. Because the last 2 seasons, he just hasn't been as healthy, had a setback. So, yes, I don't care who it is. I want McCaffrey. But there's just that caveat of hopefully he can stay healthy the rest of the season.
Yeah. And, Kevin, you're talking about it seems like Hill is not healthy as well for the Chiefs. Just so happens that he's not on IR and he's playing. Ertz or Goddard. This is Goddard for me.
Yep.
Chubb and Edmonds for Gibson, Terry, and Khalil for Zach. What side do we like here?
Chubb and Edmonds. The Chubb and Edmonds side.
Yeah. Chubb and Edmonds for me as well.
But you're missing out on the Bears starting running back, apparently.
Would you say Burrow or Brady this week? I thought that Burrow would have the easier matchup with the Jets.
It's Brady.
That is true, geez Louise, but it's still Brady. Alejandro, this is Khalil Herbert. I think we're finally going to finally we all answer Khalil Herbert here, and we don't hurt Kev's feelings or break out into another tirade and debate. Herbert or Eli? Kev, I know you like both. Who do you like in this one? I forget.
Maybe Herbert.
Bryce back in again for another question. Do I hold on to CMC or trade away Hendy, Hubbard, or Gibson?
No, we hold. I mean, we don't hold CMC all year, and then right before he's about to come back, trade him. We're holding CMC.
Swift or Mixon this week?
Swift.
Okay, so wide receivers: D-Hop, CD Moore, Henderson, Hubbard, Gibson. Yeah, you're still holding on to CMC there, Bryce. I mean, again, if you can get, it would have to be one of those Godfather offers, right? An offer you can't refuse in order to trade away CMC. But like Kev said, not going to hold him this whole time, and then right before he comes back, or hopefully comes back, send him away. CD or Mike Evans?
This is CD.
Land for me as well. Can I drop Dearness Johnson?
Could, but I wouldn't.
I'd hang on.
Yeah. I mean, as always, depends on who you're dropping him for, but I think he is definitely worth the hold with as well as he was playing, and I think he slides into that Kareem Hunt role for the time being. Sky Dude, Hawk or Fant?
I'll go Hawkinson.
I'm going to go Hawk as well. Okay. So still a waiver, but not you're not putting in claims.
It just opens up. There's no waiver wire. You don't put anything.
Okay. Oh, my God. That's awesome.
So you just set – I would assume you just like – I guess you would just like set it on – because there obviously has to be some time that it opens. And so I would just set my alarm for like 5 minutes right before that so I could just be there waiting. Okay, let's go. It just boom.
With that kind of chaos, you have to set that to open at like 4 a.m, right? Like you might as well just go all in. Like you don't do that at a time that's going to be like convenient for everybody. You make that like a 5 a.m.
Said it's 2 a.m. or something.
Yes.
Cody, that's a John Bosch move.
Hey, if you're going to do it, just go all in. You know
I know a lot of people that do that. They wait. They set an alarm every Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning, depending on when their waivers run. And they wake up right at that time. Boom, go check. All right, see what's out there and make the moves.
Yep.
Yeah, the only time that I have set alarms for anything fantasy related has been in auction leagues, just to like make sure I get my guys to see who, if like, all right, I don't really want to bid on this guy, but I can't let him go for this much. Doesn't seem like anyone else is bidding on him. I guess I'll wake up at 2:37 just to check and red line somebody in the middle of the night. Gator Fan has a full PPR league. Current RBs are JT, Connor, D. Will, Carson, Clyde. How would you handle my running back room?
I mean, there's not much you can do. I mean, again, I still I don't know what's going to happen with Carson this year. We'll see. And then CEH, I haven't heard a lot about. We really haven't heard a lot about him either. I mean, obviously he's still on IR, and so there's not a whole lot you can do with him. I suppose you could, package a Darrell Williams and CEH, but like, what are you getting for that? Like you're not getting a ton of value for that. Maybe you trade Darrell Williams for like a Javonte. I think you could do that. Go after somebody that has a little more value a little bit later. I would definitely be a proponent of that because Javonte is somebody that I would still be actively trying to trade for.
Would you trade Connor for Javonte?
Yes.
Probably more realistic, right?
Yeah, with the right owner. Yeah, with the right owner, I agree.
Alejandro feeling queasy on this one. A-Rob, Beasley, or Landry?
I'm going to go Beasley here. 7 for 88 and a touchdown last week. He's been very hot and cold this year. He gets Miami this week, but then Jacksonville, then the Jets, then Indy. I'm going to go Beasley.
I'm going to go Jarvis Landry.
Oh my god, that's not the
That was not
answer I thought it was.
That was not the decision, Kevin. No. Try again.
I wanted to say Allen Robinson, but
I'll go. I'm gonna go Beasley. My god,
You guys can hang on to Allen Robinson, but we can't start him. Like
right,
Beasley. Najee and Evans or Eckler and Debo for Ken.
Najee and Mike Evans.
I think so. Yeah. Does that hurt you, Cody? A little bit.
It's close enough that I'm not really gonna put up
A
an
stink?
argument. Yeah, no.
No, geez, Louise.
I have noticed that on the ranking show, the running back ranking show we do every week, I think at least 4, if not 5 or 6 of the weeks, that's the guy that Cody talks about every week. I really need to go into it, but let's talk about Austin Eckler every single week.
Just gotta let the people know.
It's the same as you talking about Jacoby Myers every week.
I haven't talked about Jacoby Myers in forever. I can't remember the last time I talked about Jacoby Myers.
You talked about him this week, literally this week.
If it is, it's like in passing. It's not like the guy I'm like highlighting.
Are you dropping Dearness or Myers? Speaking of.
Let me talk to you about Jacoby Myers real quick.
I'm dropping Dearness.
What do you need? Like, what are you picking up? Because
Yeah, Tyrio, let us know who or what you're looking to pick up and what the rest of your let us know what your running back and receiver group looks like.
Yeah.
Big Bobby Tanyan, good fill-in tight end this week due to the COVID plague in Green Bay. Yes, predictions for him. 7-8 targets.
4 for 45 and a tutty.
5 for 70 scoreless yards.
Ooh. Big Bob rolling downhill. Let's go.
What is your opinion of the chance that Watson plays if traded?
100%.
He would have been put on the list already.
They already said the commissioner Goodell already came out and said he is not going to be placed on the exempt list. He's not going to be suspended this year. So if he's traded, he's playing.
RC knows what's up. Royal Cola. Okay, so CEH would be the pickup, I'm assuming.
For
either dropping Dearness or Myers.
Yeah, I'm dropping Johnson.
Either one. I'd probably drop Myers, to be honest with you, but either one.
If you don't need a running back play, I would drop DJ. Right, like if he's kind of just chilling on your bench, you picked him up last week because of bye weeks and injuries, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you need that RB2 this week, because obviously Clyde isn't coming back, I'd be fine dropping Myers. Any changes here for Zach on the bench? You know, obviously Amari sticks out. Are we playing Amari over DK or Thielen?
I am. I'm playing Amari over DK.
I would do the same.
Man, if DK didn't have that 84-yard house call where it was probably pass interference on
Then
him.
he didn't see another target until the fourth quarter.
I can't go into it. But down by 15.3. Needed him to not get another target the rest of the game. Almost happened. Oh.
Edmonds, Moss. We putting either of those in over Herbert? No, correct.
No.
Where are we ranking Tanyan this week? You
am
can
at
feel good
9
about
currently.
starting him.
Yeah,
I
he's,
am at tight end 9.
I am tight end 9 as well.
Into the wilderness with Scott Wilderson. Who do I play in my flex? Lockett, Javonte, AJ, or Judy?
Judy.
I'm going Judy there as well. Robbie, you can answer this one. Which Baltimore running back rest of season, Murray or Freeman?
Murray.
None.
Trick question. Neither. Should I trade Kelsey for a running back or a wide receiver? Have Carter, Henderson, Pollard, McKissick, Collins, Carson Beasley, Jefferson, S.
Back when we didn't know, Kevin and I didn't know what Jettis was. We're improving. We're getting better.
You could definitely use
Running back help.
and receiver help if all you have is basically whoever S is plus Jefferson and Beasley. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Let's work
Yes.
the waiver. Let's work the trades. Get on the phones.
Jake wants to know, did I make a mistake by dropping McKissick for DJ?
I think so.
They're both the same to me,
Yeah.
honestly.
Really. McKissick has been really good some weeks.
Some weeks, but I mean, you're hoping for the PPR upside, and I think that's really the only thing either of them carry. Like McKissick was in a great game script last week and shat the proverbial bed. Would you include JT in a trade for Eckler, whether it's straight up or in a package deal? Is it too much of a lateral move considering how good both are playing?
Lateral move.
Henry and Pittman for Harris and Godwin.
No.
That's not an answer.
I'm not trading away Henry and Pittman to acquire Harris or Godwin, which is how I read that.
You are the Derrick Henry hater on this channel. You have a video to prove it. What are you doing here?
Yeah, what was this Derrick Henry collectively? Like, not all of us were low on Derrick Henry. Come on.
I was.
We had him in the first round. Hold on. We had him in the first round. Kev did not have this man as a top 12 running back. We were okay.
Kev made a YouTube video and I made a TikTok.
I missed the TikTok.
Okay.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Okay.
As hard as it is, I want Najee Harris, but I am not.
DJ or Lindsey?
David Johnson.
Yes.
Give up on Ayuk?
Yep. I think there's other guys you can roster above Ayuk. Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine with dropping him. And then Zach, I would stick with Tanyan or Gronk here over Hunter Henry because it looks like Jonnu Smith is going to play. The fact that he got in a limited practice today, I think would tell us that that shoulder was not that big of a deal. Got injured whenever they were obviously in complete control of that game, so there wasn't really a need to keep throwing Jonnu out there. If Jonnu were out, I would really like Hunter Henry, but that does not seem like that is going to be the case. So I would stick with I'm going to stick with Tanyan. I think they're close.
Yeah, they're close. Again, it goes back to the Gronk was fantastic, probably more often the better touchdown shot, but Tanyan this week, Gronk long term.
I'm gonna drop. I would drop Tanya and pick up Henry and play Henry. I have Henry ahead of all of them.
Even with Jonnu probably playing.
Yeah, Johnny doesn't matter to me. I don't. That is. That never was a factor to me in my mind of how I'd do this. Not to mention the fact that the Chargers have been really, really bad against tight ends. So
you have Henry as a top because you had Tanya at 9, right? So you have Henry as a top.
I have Henry at 8.
Gotcha. I have Henry at 11, so I'm going to stick with Tanya. But yeah.
Start 3: CPAT, Godwin, Diggs, Tyreek.
The last 3.
Last 3 for me as well. Jake finally jumping in, although he's been rocking with us for a while. D-Hop or Evans?
DeAndre Hopkins.
One more here from Gator fan Ridley, Keenan, Claypool, Bateman, Higgins as receivers. So I try to trade any for someone like Debo, Hill, or Metcalf.
Tyreek,
I think all those guys are too low in value right now. Ridley hasn't gone off. Like I don't like. I think you'd have to, Keenan, wide receiver 34, half PPR. Claypool up and down. Bateman hasn't done anything. I mean, would you package any of those guys to try and get someone like Gator is mentioning?
I mean, some people might be down on Hill. Like Hill has exploded for 2 weeks, and he's been pretty pedestrian for the other 4 weeks, right? So I think there's people that would trade Hill. Should they? No, but I would toss together maybe a Ridley and Claypool offer for Tyreek Hill.
Kev, you think something like that gets it done with this group?
No, I don't think it would. I think people look at Calvin Ridley like, oh, he hasn't done anything this year, or he hasn't been great. And I know I'm not going to say that Tyreek. I mean, but Tyreek has had his a couple.
He's been good for yeah. You're right.
And so
right.
I don't think you're getting it done for Tyreek. Yeah. And then after that, I don't want to trade Ridley for Debo or Metcalf at this point. And so. And then Keenan, again, has kind of been okay. Like the secondary numbers are all kind of there for him, but I don't think that he is, really, he hasn't hit an expectation. Kind of the same thing with Claypool. Claypool's been fine, but I think there'll be better days ahead for him with the loss of Juju. And then I like Bateman, but you're not going to be able to get any of those guys without packaging a bunch of these guys. And I don't really think at the end of the day it would end up helping you.
So Karn, I believe, is sitting at 3 and 4. Would you trade Kelsey and Carson to get CMC?
Absolutely. I would already if that offer is still sitting there, you have to run now and make that and accept.
Yeah, I think Karn just ran into a bunch of poor injury luck this year. Now I think that's a home run swing you can definitely take to try to get back up in it. Judy or Gainwell in the flex, and Scott, we appreciate you always hitting that like button, and we would appreciate everyone else following in Scott and Jake's footsteps here. Give us a sub, give us a like. Who do we like here at Gainwell or Judy?
Jerry Judy.
Let's go.
Whoa. So, is it? They're playing Detroit, right? I mean, Detroit's run defense is atrocious, right? And
I just don't know what to expect out of that. If Jordan Howard comes up and then talk about this is still Nick Sirianni, who didn't want to give the ball to fucking Miles Sanders to begin with.
That's my thing.
I don't know.
I think it's, but we also don't really know. I like Jerry Judy, but there's still the possibility that he doesn't get. We're still talking about the Broncos, who have looked fucking terrible for in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Jerry Judy coming back is not going to save them, and all of a sudden this offense is going to completely turn around. It was a great matchup last week against Cleveland. Cleveland's secondary is terrible too, and awful. And so, I don't think this is as much of a smash. The matchup is 100% there for Kenny Gainwell. And so I would go Kenny Gainwell. there should be more enthusiasm for Kenny Gainwell this week because of the matchup against Detroit.
Should be.
And for me, there is. I've just been kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with Miles Sanders. And, if Miles Sanders doesn't play, because if he does it, then I think Kenny Gainwell is a pretty easy locked-in RB2. I'm not going to put him, super high, but I think he's definitely in the RB2 discussion for sure.
I mean, what's his workload, Kev? Like, he got 5 carries, and I get it. Miles Sanders was there for the first quarter, but I think that's my problem is that you just now insert him into Miles Sanders' role plus more bodies. Sirianni wasn't giving the ball to Miles Sanders in the first place, like Cody was saying. What's his workload? It's just so questionable, and I get it. I've had questions about Jerry Jeudy, which is why I've been labeled as the hater of this show, but I'm just going to trust Jerry Jeudy's talent a little bit more than Gainwell, who I don't know what he's going to do.
Robert Jeudy rest of the season.
Jerry,
you have to, at this as of right now, you have to say it's Jerry Jeudy.
How disgusting is that? Literally a dude who hasn't played since week 1, and unanimously we're saying Jerry Jeudy.
The Bears are stupid, so they probably won't do it because they'll somehow be close enough to think they still have a shot at a playoff spot and everything else. But they 100% should be looking to trade Allen Robinson ahead of Tuesday. He's in the last. This is the situation that he's in. He's going to be a free agent after this year. It's not going to cost him a ton of money. They're not going to take on the entire contract. It'll be cut in half, and so. Try to get something for him because there ain't a chance in hell Allen Robinson is coming back to this team. He wanted out last year. They wouldn't let him. It really seems like this very well could be more of a business decision of what he's doing right now and that he doesn't want to be there. And he's just not the guy that's going to demand a trade because, there were some plays that looks like he's just like jogging. Like he's like, I'm cool, man. Like I'm not getting hurt. I have one more opportunity to get the bag. And so I would not be shocked if he got traded. He should be traded, but will he? I don't know because the Bears are
as things sit right now. It's Jeudy. Hopefully, a week from now we can come back and laugh about it, and he'll be in a much better place, as we all will be if he gets traded. Robbie, you are the Savon Ahmed guy. Do you think it's just the Gaskin show, or do we think Ahmed is now involved? I like picking Ahmed up in 12-team leagues and deeper. 10-team leagues, I don't think you have to. 12-team leagues, because we have seen them questionably just give the workload to Malcolm Brown. So we could definitely see something here with Ahmed as well. And he's talented enough that I think he gets some work. And I just answered the question for you, Robbie. To not be concerned with CMC's hamstring injury. You can be, but with sitting at hanging on to 3 and 4 by a thread, I think it's just the kind of home run swing that I'd be willing to take in your position. Obviously, I've already answered that for Karn, but do you guys feel any differently? Kelsey banged up himself. Cooper or Mitchell in the flex this week. Robbie, before you fall asleep.
I am awake. I am here with you all. Elijah Mitchell has a much safer workload, but I do think the Cowboys-Vikings is going to be a shootout on Sunday Night Football. Maybe saying that because I'm going to it and want it to be an exciting game, but it's probably Elijah Mitchell between these two.
I'm going to go Amari here.
Let's go.
Good.
I do have a really good
that.
question before we wrap, because I know we're getting close to wrapping this up. To the chat. There's been something I've been thinking about, and I just want to know what the people's thought is on this. We've been doing videos every Tuesday, and we do our rankings videos. They're 20 minutes long. I just had a question for the chat. Would it be more advantageous for you guys if instead of us doing all going through our entire rankings, if it would be more advantageous if we really just honed in on, I don't know, let's say 4 to 6 running backs that are more flex option type, kind of like a lot of the guys you guys ask questions about for that week. And then kind of, for the wide receivers, we kind of do the same thing, make a shorter video, but much more to the point of the guys you guys are going to be more interested in. Or would you guys rather us keep it doing the same way we're doing it now, where we have like a 20-minute video? So I'm just curious of what people thought on that.
Kev Steele to the point. Is that in the same sentence? Let's go.
They would end up being half-hour long video. Like we would somehow fuck that up and still end up like it would end up being longer with us trying to make shorter ones. But yes, let us know what you guys would be looking for.
So far, the early consistencies keep doing it the way it is. So
as we wait for a couple more thoughts to come in, Karn traded Gibby and Woods for Claypool and Barkley in a half PPR league.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yep. Do we trust Hubbard and Darrell Williams to bounce back? Darrell Williams much more confident in than Hubbard. I think Robbie, what was your answer on this one?
I mean, they're really close. Yeah, Bears. Yeah.
But if Cincy is available, go pick up the Cincinnati Bengals and play them.
Yes.
Yes, if A-Rob is on waivers, truth, go pick him up. Definitely still worth a hold, especially if he gets traded. What kind of value would you need to trade Kamara? Still talking about like a mid RB1 plus. Like I wouldn't want to be going down too far from Kamara. I can't imagine that your running back room is stacked enough that you can trade away Kamara and not get a running back. So that'd be my thought. Like I'd still want a mid to back end RB1 plus like a wide receiver 2-ish. Back end wide receiver 2.
Yeah, you'd need like a Mixon and Woods coming back, and you need to have
more than that.
You would need to have the need for a wide receiver too, right? So that's the range.
Mixon Pittman. Would that get it done?
No, I still want Kamara. Like he's such the rare air of of Dalvin Cook, and I guess obviously Derrick Henry in that spot and like a few other guys that like it's so hard to replace that. And so it would take more than that. I would need like a top 10 wide receiver and a really strong running back to consider that just because of his upside. And I think he's only going to get better, especially when it was really encouraging to see what they did against Seattle and to finally really utilize him more as the pass catcher that they should be. So
what do we think about mixing an AB for Aaron Jones and Robinson? Which Robinson is it? What if it's let's say it's A-Rob. What's your answer?
Mixon and AB.
And if it's J-Rob?
Other side, Aaron Jones and J-Rob.
If it's Aaron Jones and James Robinson, it is a slam dunk. Aaron Jones and James Robinson. Even if I still would probably take Allen Robinson, the Aaron Jones side.
Yeah, I want Mixon AB if that is Allen Robinson. Texans RBs right now, they're still trash, but there's less trash around to pick up. So, I mean, I would want David Johnson out of the two because he has been used as the clear pass catching back, but like it doesn't really do much. Like I can't imagine Johnson's all of a sudden going to now get 7 carries per game plus the targets he was seeing. I think a lot of that work is going to go to Philip Lindsay. Do we think Mac will be traded in the next few days, available on waivers? I mean, if you have that last spot to burn, you can always pick him up. If he doesn't get traded, you can drop him. If you need that spot, I don't think you have to rush out to get Mac because he's been lingering around on, the rumors with him getting traded have gone back 3-4 weeks now. So you would think a deal would have gotten done there. But definitely worth a speculative add if you have the space to do it. Cooper or Marvin Jones in the flex starts with Thielen and AB. This is going to be Cooper.
Yep.
Well, I don't think AB is going to play.
I don't think so either.
So, I mean, I think it's going to be you're just going to play Thielen, Cooper, and Marvin Jones.
Which is fine.
Yeah. Good call. Don't change a thing. Keep the same way. Full rankings. Appreciate you guys. Who should I flex here for Fernando? Lockett, Tony, Judy, Connor, or Alex Collins?
I'm going Alex Collins.
I'm going to go Alex Collins as well.
Who'd you rather have over Deebo Samuel?
I mean, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a mid wide receiver too. So quite a few running backs, quite a few wide receivers.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to go back to see if there was anything I missed from Ronald saying it's or not and. I don't think we missed anything unless Ronald's saying that he wants the rankings and you know what I mean. I don't know, Ronald. If there's anything if there's anything we missed, appreciate you, Ronald. Appreciate you. Uzomah or Hawk this week, non PPR. This is Hawk.
Hawkinson.
Don't overreact to the 3 targets, 3 catches, and two tutties from Uzomah. Brandon Bolden worth a pickup. Yeah, I mean, 12-team leagues and higher, again, definitely worth a pickup. Going to have the pass catching work. Mixing over Fournette. Should I put...
The question for Ronald was, it was supposed to be Aaron Jones or J-Rob. Not both. I was going to say, if it's both. Yes, for Aaron Jones.
What is it again? Can we pull that back up?
AB and Mixon for Aaron Jones or James Robinson.
AB and Mixon. I don't think so.
I want Aaron Jones.
You do want Aaron Jones?
Yes.
I don't think so. I mean, AB could miss a couple of weeks, but he's done enough where he's a wide receiver 2 when he's healthy with wide receiver 1 upside, where I want to take a slight downgrade to Mixon and get a wide receiver 2.
Okay, yes. Mixon and AB for Jones or Robinson. That's why I couldn't find it, because it wasn't Ronald's question. It was Santiago's. It's like,
that makes more sense.
Mixon and AB, Jones or Robinson.
So Kevin and I are split. What do you think on that one, Cody?
Give me the Mixon side for either one.
Oh, so yeah, we couldn't even just read it. It really just said it there in the question all along.
Yeah. It was really, really just right there. Okay.
3 of us all saw it. Fucking reading. Yeah, that's why we're not a written site, To
be fair, we are coming up on the 3-hour mark on this stream. So, I know you guys had to put a Mixon over Fournette. Should I put Fournette as the flex or Myers, Judy, Edmonds?
I would put Chase Edmonds in.
Over
Fournette.
And I'm still sticking with Fournette over Edmonds.
I would still stick with Fournette there as well. Robbie, Panthers, Steelers, Cowboys.
Steelers. Lock them in.
Kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier, but thoughts on Gesicki rest of the season with Parker and Fuller returning?
I mean, I think he takes a little bit of a bump, probably a little bit of a bump back, but I don't think it's anything drastic.
It's probably still going to be a tight end one, but just not a top 5, 6 the way that we've been treating him the past couple of weeks.
It's just how he's utilized, because currently he is the wide receiver 2, played like Kyle Pitts, where he's playing a heavy majority of his snaps on the outside, which is when Parker and Fuller return. Does he move more in line again? That's what I'm nervous about.
So let me ask you this. Let's say you have Gesicki, but you don't have anybody else. Let's say that you don't have another strong tight end. Would you trade Gesicki knowing you probably could get a lot for him right now with how well he's played, with a thought process once these guys are coming back, that he probably does take a little bit of a bump back, and then he probably turns more in line with a lot of these other guys. Where I think right now with where he's at, I think you could really sell somebody on the idea of trading him to somebody, even for, I'm trying to think of like a solid wide receiver that you probably could get, out of that, or even a running back. I think there's guys out there that you could trade for. Like, even though it would leave you without a tight end, I guess that's my question. Would you trade Gesicki now knowing that you probably could get better value for him that's going to return on that. And then you would just have to go out and add somebody through waivers that you wouldn't be able to necessarily get somebody back on the tight end market.
Kev, I'm going to guess that the person A has to have no tight end, right? They have to have just,
which is a lot of people. Let's be honest.
Right? No, you're right. So 1, you have to have that, and then 2, they have to have a. What do you guys think? It's Devonta Smith, Chase Claypool, Marvin Jones level type of wide receiver that you get back, or am I shooting too high? We're talking about a flex-ish outside your top 24 wide receivers, right?
Oh, no, I think you could get somebody inside of that. I mean, I think, Keenan Allen could be possible.
No one's trading. I don't think so. No one's trading Gesicki for Keenan or giving away Keenan.
If you're desperate for a tight end, he's the one. I mean, he has crushed every single week. I mean, really, except for since going back to week 1, right?
The first 2 weeks, yeah.
And
I don't think it happens.
I think if you threw something else in, you probably could make it work for Calvin Ridley, or would you do it for a Michael Pittman, or
Michael Pittman's down. Yeah, Michael Pittman's in that same range. I think I was what I would say with the Smith Claypool kind of. Yeah, that's closer.
And I think it would. I think I would underestimate a little bit of when guys have bad weeks or are not playing as well, how quickly people will trade them. So
to answer your question, yes, I would for a Pittman, Higgins, Smith, Chase Claypool, improve my wide receiver, and then you're playing. What do you guys think? You have to pick up a Cooks, or you guys have to pick up a.
Yeah, I mean, or even if it's a Dan Arnold, I mean, you're just gonna have to go back to streaming, right? You probably picked up Gesicki as a streamer because he was terrible the first couple of weeks, so people dropped him, and you're able to pick him back up.
And you're looking at an Engram, Uzomah, Mo Alley Cox. Okay, it might be rough sledding.
Devonta Smith or Pittman rest of the season.
Devonta Smith.
I went Pittman.
Yeah.
Would you trade Ridley and Keenan Allen for Chase?
No.
I don't think I could pull the trigger either. I think both those guys bounce back. Cav, one word answer. Mr. Williams on the DFS Thanksgiving show.
I don't have one word answer, but I can tell you, you might find out tomorrow. That's all I'll say.
Championship lineup after the CMC trade would be CMC, Hunt, Gaskin, DJ, Bolden, Diggs, TMC, Pittman, Devonta, and Gesicki. Good enough? I'd probably try and flip Pittman or Devonta to try and get a better RB2 if you're able to do that. Diggs and TMC, maybe you send away Pittman because he probably has the highest value right now, just to get you something a little bit steadier at the RB2 spot, especially with Hunt being injured. Gaskin, okay, could be fine, could be not. I would just want a steadier, safer RB2. Lamar QB traded Tyreek and Hawk for Debo and Mark Andrews. So Tyreek and TJ for Debo and Mark. Did I get the better end of the deal?
Did not get the better end of the deal.
I would want the Tyreek side. I don't think it's
it's fine.
Awful. Yeah, I don't think it's an awful deal. Not going to crush it or anything, but I know Tyreek has been boom and bust, and Debo has been pretty steady, especially comparatively to Tyreek, but still want the Tyreek side, and TJ and Andrews are close enough for me. So that is going to do it. 3 hours in the books. If you have any other questions, please drop them in a separate YouTube video. We'll answer them there, or you can join the Discord for free. Pull up the description below. You will also find a link there for some TFA merch, some TFA swag. If you would like to have the sexy TFA logo across your chest, we have regular t-shirts, long sleeve tees, women's tees, and hoodies over there. And then you'll also see a link for Thrive Fantasy if you want to jump into that. Speaking of DFS, think DraftKings, think FanDuel, but with player props. Been a lot of fun. I think Robbie's been having fun, although he is not. He doesn't have anything in his pocket to show for the fun. It has been a losing venture so far, but it's been a lot of fun over there. If you click on the link, you don't need to use our promo code. So appreciate all you guys. Again, any other questions, Discord, YouTube, 3 hours down. Have a great week. DFS tomorrow, props on Friday, and then the live show on Sunday. See you guys soon.